Buzzer, do you even know you're being talked about anymore? Oh, he's so old, he doesn't even react. He's like, I'm too tired for this shit, bro. But this isn't the Bowser or the Hallelujah show. This is the Two Tired Dudes podcast. Hey, everybody. On this episode, we're going to be talking about our. Oh my god, I had a brain fart. We're going to be talking about NPCs that we hated, or the worst things we've done to an NPC. Shout out to the Jiminator. He came up with this topic for us tonight. I should probably have Twitch open too. Wow, I'm just not all together right now. We just got into this big, huge conversation on Discord about a certain subject, and then I brought it up to my Discord community, and I was saying, I think it'd be a lot of fun at one point to be able to get a few of them on. Okay, good. It's working. Make sure our audio is working. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to get them all on and like have a conversation, right? Other than gaming all the time. Um, I've always like him and God with it though, because once you branch, you know what I mean, into certain subjects, I know it could get quite heated and quite debated for some. That's not what I want to go for, right? I honestly just want to have an intelligent conversation and just kind of, you know, maybe not make a solution to certain problems, but at least kind of look at it through like a broad scope, right? Like look at all the areas that a solution might be able to generate from. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to be as vague as possible because, like I said, right now this podcast is kind of all just loosey goosey, happy and positive. But I would like to have a serious discussion too. I think that would be a lot of fun. Um, yeah. So today was terrible. I'm gonna give a quick little. Oh, that's nice. I got a nice, sweet little drink. Thanks, Cheyenne. You have a nice bath. Cheyenne's not feeling well, so if she's dying in the background, you know why. um, but yeah, so today kind of really sucked. So, long story short, basically, I had one issue I can't talk about, one issue I can't talk about because it's just it's with a team member and it just wouldn't be appropriate. Um, but the first issue was I had this guy come to the store today, and he was Marie, and he was stealing, right? Not the end of the world. It happens all the time, right? It's just part of retail. So anyway, I caught the guy stealing, and I was like, okay, like you need to leave, dude. Like you can't be here, etc. Like I usually ask this stuff back, but like I don't expect it ever. It's like whatever. You took two items. I'm not gonna just leave and I'd be happy at this point. So anyway, this guy turns around. I didn't realize how intoxicated he was. Now, what the substance was, I'm not sure. I don't think it was alcohol. He was definitely on something else, and it was my bad. I kind of let him into the bathroom beforehand because, like, I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like I'm not gonna judge you by the way you dress and all that. Like, maybe you're just on hard times, but you're still gonna buy stuff, etc., etc. So he was in the bathroom for a while, and I did double check the bathroom just to make sure like there was nothing on there that would harm anyone because it is a public bathroom, right? So if there's needles or any weird stuff, lying around, I wouldn't want like any customer that's going to go in there next to touch it, right? So there wasn't, but there was a weird smell. I don't really know what it was because I never smelled that smell before. But anyway, he had the odor on him as well. When I did get close enough to him to again ask him just to leave the store. And this is where things got really fucking shitty. So basically, he just turned around and it was just like, like, you fucker, I'm gonna fucking kill you, I'm gonna murder you. He's like, I want to make sure I stand here and get a good look at your face so I know who I want to fucking kill. And I was like, okay, like, this has got intense. Like, um, usually I get pissed off and I'll like bite back, right? But this time I was like, no, like just chill out, like just handle the situation properly. Oh, sorry. So again, I was like, you know what? Like I said, if you're gonna threaten me, I'm just gonna call the police and they're gonna have to move you. And then he so nicely let me know that he's been in prison already a few times. That threat didn't scare him. He was like, "Call the cops, I dare you. Call the cops, you pussy." And I was like, "Fuck, I really don't want to have to call the cops. Like, I just want you to leave, right?" So even the cop kind of laughed at me for this one. I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna count to 10." I was like, when I reach one, if you haven't left the store, it's like you're leaving me no other option, man. Like, I'll have to call the police, and like obviously they're gonna arrest you. So I was like, just leave, just make it simple, right? And like I was like 10, 9, 8, right? Got to one, and he was like, "Well, you're at one. What are you gonna do about it now, pussy?" He's like, "Guess you have to call the cops, eh?" He's like, "I'm gonna fucking wait here." And he said whatever his name was. He's like, "There, now you got my name. Now you can tell them." And I was just like, "Okay, like I'm calling." So I basically just called the police, right? I told them the situation that was happening. As I'm calling the police, this guy just turns on Eminem and just starts blasting it on his phone. He was in the store long enough to play 3 Eminem raps, and he is just pacing back and forth. Right, he's got like that "I don't give a fuck" attitude going on. So I'm on the phone. I'm talking to the lady operator, sorry, and just kind of like letting her know his description and all that. Like I'm letting him know, like, hey, this is happening. Like like I am informing the police of what you look like, and giving them all the information they need. Like like just leave at this point, so I can just tell the person that you left. Sorry, I've been up for a long time today. And anyway, so like halfway through the conversation with the operator, the yeah, totally normal Tuesday. The operator was even like, she's like, I can hear his music really loud. She's like, you should probably not be standing that close to this guy. Like he was literally passing me by. Like he could have stabbed me at any point. Like I was just that close. But like, I don't know. I guess it was like fight or flight, was kicking in, and I wasn't like scared to run away, and I wasn't like ready to fight him either. I was just kind of like holding my ground, if that makes sense. So I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. I should probably step away, right? So anyway, I pulled the system manager off cash, and I had her just kind of standing there because I thought, okay, intimidation factor, 2 people, you might be willing to leave, right? Usually that works for me. This guy just wasn't budging. Like he was just there to fuck shit up. So anyway, he's standing at the front. To give you perspective, I did this all at 10:16. I called the police. It took till 3 o'clock in the afternoon for the police to show up. So obviously they were going to help me in this situation. So after a while, the guy finally left the building. Oddly enough, didn't trash anything. I really expected him to trash shit because usually what they do is they'll like rip stuff off the shelf, right? They'll knock down my displayers. They'll do whatever. Like it gets pretty fucking nutty. Like I'm not gonna lie. um, yeah. So anyway, he ended up leaving, and then the police show up at 3 o'clock. And the first thing out of their mouth is, "Hey, we're sorry. Just we're really behind today. We got a lot going on." And he was like, "We're guessing the guy left the building." And I was like, "Yep, he kind of left like fucking how many hours ago already." Um, and then I was giving the description, like, explaining everything that happened. The guy was barely writing stuff down, and then I was like, so in my mind right away, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some information out of you guys so that at least head office could talk to you. Like, obviously, you guys just aren't paying attention. You don't really care at this point. So I was like, hey, can I get a badge number? Can I get like a case number? Can I get any things I can give to head office? And straight up, this is what the cop told me. He was like, you know what? We're just really busy today. We're really behind, and this guy's not even here anymore, so the case is kind of shut. And I was like, well, the dude kind of threatened my life, so I was like, don't really think the case is shut. He made sure to let me know that he was registering my face in his, like, I get it. He could have been just intoxicated and just, fucking calling my bluff, but he also could have been like, like fucking stalking me as far as I know. I mean, it didn't help the fact that a customer afterwards said that she's seen this guy multiple times in the parking lot, like around this area before, and like he's always like in that kind of state of mind. So it's like, great. I always shop at like the grocery store across the street. I'm always walking to and from work. Cause like this is just lovely to know. So yeah, anyway, yes, the cops ended up leaving. I just didn't do jack shit. Just didn't do jack shit. I was really disappointed. So I had to file my report away. Then I had like going back in time, right? At 11 o'clock, I had another employee incident take place, right? I had to deal with that one. And it was serious enough, right? Where like the individual could have been fired if they do it again. So hopefully that doesn't occur. Like I said, I don't want to get too much into that one because that's confidential. Um, what else happened? Oh, then we had our truck take place. So my team's doing pretty good. We did hit a roadblock a few weeks ago, right? Stalkers weren't pushing out as much as they should have been, and unfortunately, the back room piled up. Now it's at a safety issue level, where we literally have the back room piled up right to the safety tape. So like if you're in any kind of building, I'm assuming most of them have the same logic, right? You have to have clear pathways. You can't have anything like blocking a path. So when I say like the boxes are like right to the tape, that's the tape that I'm talking about. So they're right to the point where the pathway is still clear, but like those boxes are fucking high, right? And for our company, at least, we always have to have the boxes 6 feet, 6 feet or less as height wise. So that's all packed back there. I think before this truck came today, we were currently already sitting at two. No, sorry, we were sitting at like 1,700 boxes, and then we added on another 1,400 boxes from the truck today. So it's like 3,000 cases back there. Basically, everyone was upset. Then on top of all of that, my merch somehow well, not somehow. She has an injury already before, but she basically fucked up her ankle some more. Like she's a trooper. I'm gonna say it right now. Okay, this girl works even though her doctor told her like, "Hey man, the more you're walking, the more this like tendon's gonna rip and shred, and the more likely you are to never walk again." And she was just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna work." I was just like, "Okay, well, let's make things a little bit easier for you then, so that that doesn't happen to you." Um, yeah, so she was limping around. So I was like, okay, I'll take over truck. You do whatever you possibly can at this point. If sitting's better for you, if standing's better for you, figure that out, and we'll just give you projects so you could do that while you're trying to get through the day, basically. And then I had someone quit too on top of all that. So it was just like one issue after another today. So by the end of the day, I just basically texted Cheyenne saying, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna be a miserable bitch." I was like, "It's nothing to do with you. I just need that alone time." And instead of doing that, I decided to have a huge debate on Discord about a topic that we were discussing. Sorry, Marie, you were saying there. My house got burgled once. The cops are like, "Yep, sure did. Toodaloo." Wow. Like it just like I mean I know there is so many things going on in a city, province, wherever it takes place. I know that like especially Winnipeg, for example, we do have like a lot of murders, and shit like that happens. It's not a great thing to brag about, right? But I mean that is the city I live in. So I do understand that there is a lot of crime already going on, but it's like if it's that bad, then like fucking invest in the police force, like make it so that there's more officers available, or more, I don't know, like just something different. Like for example, we did do one thing that was kind of smart. Just for the downtown area, we have something called redcoats, and what they do is they'll just patrol the downtown area, and they're not like cops or anything like that, but they do have authority, right? I'm pretty confident to say they are allowed mace to protect themselves with, and they can detain somebody, so they have the ability to call the police and then take them away from there, right? So I don't know if it's handcuffs or if it's zip ties or whatever program they use. I mean, I'm sure there's something they use, right, to uh, tie the person, right, so that they're unable to attack or get away from the situation. I do know that the redcoats also get a special vehicle where they can lock someone up in the back like a paddy wagon, so to speak. So yeah, that was a great solution, but again, it's only for the downtown area, which yes does need a lot of work, um, but it doesn't help the rest of the city, right? So it's almost like why not have more programs in place, just like that one. Oh, that's really delicious. Sorry, Dulac, I don't know if you hopped on and were having issues again or not. If you pop back on though, I will gladly give you your moment to shine. I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't chase you away. But yeah, like just I don't know. I know everyone has different views on police officers. I'm not going to get into that whole subject today, right? Um, But it does kind of suck, eh? Like when you just don't have that protection. Like I get why a lot of people say like take the law in my own hands because yeah, sometimes it feels like you just don't get that justice, right? And move to Twitch. Aw, you're not a nerdy lag. I always like hearing it. You know, I know he did have his own YouTube channel, right? But goddamn, that man definitely has like a voice to tell stories. Like you know what I mean? Like like the old fashioned debatable. Like the old fashioned like days like on the radio, right, where you'd have like someone like read out a novel to you. Like I could totally picture him doing that, and like I would love to just sit there and listen to the dude go off. Like when he does have those few moments on the podcast, I'm like, man, you got a good voice for like storytelling. Like it's definitely interesting. Yeah, right. He's a good narrator. Exactly. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. Like it's one of those people that like you would have on your podcast and they would just tell you like life stories and you would like listen. Like you'd be so interested to hear them all. Um I've listened to quite a few podcasts recently. Actually, they have guests like that. I don't know. I always love guests like that. Where they tell you like their life experience, but it's actually like a really fascinating and interesting story. Even though like to them it's just like yeah, it's just like minor part of my life. It's like minor part, but like that was kind of a cool story. I was gonna say your kids must have a blast when it comes to nighttime storytelling. If he is the one that reads the stories out at night. Um, yeah. So that was my crazy ass day. Doesn't sound like much, right? But just like going through it all today, I was like, holy fuck. um, and then on top of that, um, I had like a few like people that were sick already, right? Just there was a lot of like confirming and like sending emails, doing all the fucking red tape bullshit you have to do as a manager. He's made up several bedtime stories. That's awesome. I wonder, like, I feel like I could get like one good story out, if I was like a father, like I was in that situation. Like, I could feel like I could make one good story, but like after that, it'd be like, so the prince went to the castle, it would just be like so obviously made up. Um, Oddly enough, I don't know why this just randomly popped into my head, but there's a movie I still really want to see with Adam Sandler, and I know I can't remember the title of it now. Shit, I'm drawing a blank, but I'm pretty sure in the movie he like tells bedtime stories that come to life. Um, yeah, and I would love to just like talk about this right now. It makes me feel like I really want to watch that movie. Oh, here he goes. Here's the man of the hour. Okay, what'd you say, buddy? So I used to work at Sheets, a local fast food gas station. Ooh, okay. Aw, you deserve it, buddy. Okay, so what's this? I got a shot at. Oh, what? I got shot at because they only staff like 3 people on weekends. Oh, excuse me, sorry. With 300 plus, that makes sense though, because right when you say gas station, you're for sure gonna get some heavy traffic. People come in. These guys were outside, blocked out the way in or out, and they could only fight. Me and the manager went out there to break them up, and they shot at us. Holy shit! Oh my god, my guy. Like, were you okay? Like, did you actually get like hit with bullets, or did they just like graze you? Holy fuck! I can. That's honestly why I could never work at a gas station. Like, I know the shit you guys have to go through there. Like even at my like little local 7-Eleven, like this area isn't terrible, but like yeah, they get like sometimes the shit that goes on there, I'm like, holy fuck, like I can understand why you guys lock the door and you take all these extra precautions during certain hours. Oh, would you say Marie? Okay. Dude, I worked at retail for a month and quit. People can handle public. Yeah, people can have public just built different. The public sucks. I 100% agree. Isn't it such bullshit? Like, oh, I feel like I was so positive when I first started working in retail, like as a young person. And my mom would always be like, yeah, the customers suck. But I would be like, no, mom, the customers aren't bad at all, actually. The customers are pretty awesome. But I'd be like, it's head office that sucks. And now, as like I got older, I'm like, you know what? Fucking everybody sucks, okay? Like, I mean, I do like most of my coworkers, don't get me wrong. But there are some coworkers you get where it's just like, fuck you, man. Like, you're just making my life miserable for no reason. Like, I'm being nice to you, be nice back. And then there's certain customers you get that you're just like, why are you such a piece of shit? Like, just like I didn't make these policies and procedures. It was fucking head office. Like, why are you yelling at me? What am I gonna do? And then you always get that best lie, right? Like, I'm never shopping here again. Good. I don't want to see you ever again. Okay, sorry, you see answer back here. Okay, so back with Brewster. We were right next to two dance clubs and a strip club. Oh, that's ghetto as fuck. So every weekend night at last call, it was packed to the max. Yeah. That's fucking so stupid. So if they knew that was the kind of clientele you had coming in, like you're absolutely correct. Like why not ups like have a few extra staff members, like even like an extra like weekend crew. Like that's crazy. I mean, I get it might be a small building and maybe it's hard to have extra staff in there, but like I'm sure there are ways they could have made it, more safe for you guys to be in. I mean, working in retail, right when you said you left the building and you went outside to stop the fight, I know if that was my company, they would have fired my ass. They would have been like, well, you never should have left the building. You never should have dealt with that. Um, I got very lucky, actually. I will share a story after I read all this out, that actually protected me from losing my job. Sorry. So okay. So they didn't hit me, but they hit the wall next to us. The dudes chased in one guy who ran to our walk-in freezer. Holy shit! I had to hold the fire to get the customers. Wow, fucking smart thinking, buddy. Oh, I never would have thought of pulling a fire alarm. That is a good call. Saves you the effort of calling 911 too in that situation. Second part here. Okay, so the worst part? So Sheets never close, but they only shut us down from 2 to 4 on a Friday and a Saturday. Not because they shot us, because all the stuff got stolen. Oh my god. Wow, way to care about your employees, eh? Shit. Okay, I have to ask though, Brewster. After that situation took place, did you end up quitting? Or did you still try to oh, okay, I'm gonna still try this job out? I mean, if I was you, I would have totally quit. Like that would have been too much for me at that point. Okay, then back to Marie. It sucks the soul right out of you. Where is my hot dog? It's terrible. um, but yeah, quick little story I was gonna throw in there was basically we had this young kid that stole from us one time. He had oh, Brewster, sorry, I just saw that comment. That sucks. That's the worst. I completely understand that there are some times in life where you just can't quit the job and you have to suck it up. But I mean, that's a lot to go through. That is a lot. And to still have to go back there the next day. My dude. I really hope you got a much better job now. I know you kind of touched on it before. I don't fully know exactly what you do now as a job, but yeah, I definitely hope it's a lot better and you're a lot safer at least in this one than you were at your previous job. But the quick story I was going to share with you guys was, I had this one kid that was stealing one time, in the store, and like my other coworker, she's pretty she's old school, right? Like the law is the law. We follow that. You steal, I'm gonna grab that item back from you. Like she's a badass, right? Real biker chick is a good way to put it because she has a neat little background to her. But anyway, um, we saw the kid, we saw him stealing, right? Case shut. So I was like, you know what? He's a young teenager. I'm just gonna ask for it back. I mean, he might get cocky and all that stuff, but I'm just gonna say, hey, I saw in your backpack. Like, just give it back. So that's exactly what I did. I blocked the front door. This is where I got my write up from. this is where I went wrong. I never should have blocked the front door. I get that now. That was my problem. I should have handled myself differently in that situation. I should have just let the kid leave and just told him he was banned. But anyway, I blocked the door. I said, hey, I know where you put your backpack. Just give it back. And this kid, of course, is being a kid. So he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't steal nothing. I was like, dude, I saw you on camera. I saw you in person. The girl is standing next to me, right? That was my ASM that I was talking about. She was like, yeah, I saw it too. Like, just give it back, right? So he tries to push his way through. Obviously, we're two grown adults. He's not going to push his way through, right? Like, I just, you stand your ground. You go, nope, you're not leaving the building. I just want it back. Like, I literally just want that bag full of product back, right? Like, you don't understand the impact it has on a store itself, right? You don't understand shrink, all that, etc. Right? Tried to be very, tried to give a big explanation for everything. Obviously, he's a teenager, didn't give a shit, right? So he got frustrated that he couldn't leave, and when he ended up doing, and this is where I lost my cool, is he just fucking sucker punched my ASM in the face. Didn't even hit me. The guy that I'm actually like, I'm physically talking to. I'm the one telling him he can't leave the store. She was just kind of like the backup dancer in that situation. You know what I mean? She's like, yeah, you can't. Like, and yeah, he just fucking slugged her in the face. And sorry, but like, I mean, you hit an older person, and I do mean like older. Like, she is getting close to her 60s, right? A lot of health problems and all this shit. So, kind of think of her like as my work mama. You know what I mean? So I just went into protection mode. I just grabbed the kid, threw him against the wall. I said, "You'll never fucking hit a woman." I said, "I'm sorry, but like, I actually apologize." But I was like, "You don't ever fucking hit a woman." I said, "You get back that shit now. You fucking leave the store. You never come back, right?" Obviously, I guess he got like pissed off that I threw him against the wall. He uses his scooter. He whips it against my leg. Now I'm fucking pissed, right? He goes to again take another swing at the girl. This time, the person doesn't hold back. She fucking clocks him one, right? And then I just grab the backpack when he's like a little bit out of it. Get the products back, right? And then he just like fucking goes bananas, right? I'm like, I'm giving you your backpack back. I was like, you're lucky you're fucking walking out of here right now. I said, like, so I went to go through his backpack pack. Again, he's like, fucking, I don't know if you ever seen Trailer Park Boys. There's this one guy has like a little slingshot. This is how this fucking kid was, right? He's whipping his fucking scooter above his head, right? He's just fucking ready to go WWF on us. And like, so I basically grabbed his scooter. The ASM just like, grabbed his arm, puts it behind him, and like tries to push him out the door. Like, we're just trying to get this little shit out of here at this point, right? You're a fucking mental, right? It fucking hurt. Yeah, when he got me in the leg, I was like, you little bitch. Like, you're lucky adrenaline is pumping into me. So we're trying to get him out, right? He's just fighting. And then, sure enough, right? Because there's always going to be that one customer that just thinks they know the whole situation. So this customer comes in, they're like, it was just $20 worth of stuff. I was like, I get it. Like, I don't even know why you're stepping into this right now, lady. Like, but like, like, you need to butt out kind of thing. And she's like, you shouldn't be like this. I'm gonna call what should we call it? The police and head office. I'm gonna let them know that you assaulted this kid. I was like, like, I'm like trying to push this kid out the door and turning around yapping at this lady going, listen, you clearly saw him sucker punch this lady. I was like, obviously he got shoved against the wall for that one. And I said, and right now I'm just trying to push his little ass out the door because I already got my product back. I just want him fucking out of this building, right? And it's just like, I just get this huge steal, right? Anyway, and we always have to report things to the head office. So I told them what happened. Head office basically flipped out on me, right? They were like, you never should have blocked that door. Like, what the fuck were you thinking, right? And this is before we actually got really serious with that policy. Before that, it was a lot of gray area, right? So it was like, example, and to this day, my DM still does it. He's not supposed to, but apparently it was bad that I did it, and I almost got fired. But you're not supposed to grab or touch things, right? You're supposed to let them walk out the door. Don't do anything, just ban them, etc. Don't even like swear or get heated, right? And I say all this because my DM does swear, he does get heated, he does grab them, he does rip the backpacks off of them. I've seen him shove people back, right? It's like, motherfucker. And I'm gonna tell you why I say motherfucker to him. After it all went down, after head office said all their comments, that fucking DM comes down to my store, writes me up. Okay, fair enough. I fucked up. I should have done all that. I can accept that. The part that pissed me off the most is that he's like, and now I want you to write up the assistant manager. I looked at him, I was like, you realize she got fucking punched in the face. You realize that's the only reason I retaliated, right? And he's like, yeah, but she shouldn't have hit back. I was like, it was fucking self defense. I for sure. Okay, maybe I should have pushed him off of her. I should have let her have the swing back. Absolutely should have been the situation in that moment. But like I was just, like I was protective. Okay, like someone I care about gets hit, I'm obviously gonna stand up for them, right? But she, on the other hand, had every fucking right to punch that or do whatever she had to that kid. I mean, she got fucking sucker punched. She didn't deserve that, and she definitely doesn't deserve a write up. But yeah, I actually had to write that person up, and yeah, to this day, like she's so pissed about it. Like, so yeah, that was my big shoplifting story. Um, and it's so fucking funny, right? Because like when I like if you like grew up in the '90s, or even like close to the early 2000s, it was so common for sales associates and loss prevention officers to take down shoplifters. Like I remember at Zellers, which is like the Canadian version of Walmart, we had a code called Code 99, which basically meant all male staff to whatever area loss prevention needs your help. It didn't matter if they had knives, guns. When you made that call, you had to come there. You listen to the loss prevention officer. You do whatever they say. And 9 times out of 10, they told you tackle the person, grab the person's arm, grab this, do that, right? So it's like safety wasn't even an issue back then. Which I mean, yeah, I'm happy that there are protocols in place. I'm just not happy with the way we went about it, right? We kind of basically gave all the power to the shoplifters, and now the coworkers are the ones that suffer, right? I get it. That's the best solution to that problem, right? Like you need to protect the coworker. So okay, you know what? You won't be in trouble if you let that person leave, which is also kind of bullshit too, because you do get in trouble for letting that person leave. Like it's a very, I don't know, it's a very fucked up area. There's just too much gray in between it. If you're totally okay with that person leaving with the product, then you need to be totally okay with that person leaving the product. You shouldn't criticize someone. Like I remember, sorry, I know I'm rambling. I remember another incident that happened at our downtown location where the person literally said this guy had a knife. My company still fired that person because they didn't see the knife and they thought, you know what? Basically, they summed it up as he was being a wussy and he should have dealt with the situation a lot different. That there was no reason he should have gave the guy the cash. I was like, motherfucker, like, even if the guy is lying that he has a knife, what is the risk? They basically like let go of the person because they had too much money in their register. They didn't let go of them, because of that particular incident. They found like a loophole, right, to get rid of them. So real bullshit. Like I don't know. Sometimes retail is just fucked up situation to be in. Sorry. Okay, I know you guys had a lot of great comments. I'm gonna read them out now. Okay, so Brewster, you had. I have a funny stealing story as well. Same store, a young kid stealing beer. I don't talk with him. I just call the security line, and he ends up getting arrested with this old guy out in our parking lot. Flash forward 2 years later, and I'm working in a juvenile delinquent facility, playing cards with one of the best kids in my unit. Come to find out, he's from my town, knew the store I worked at, and he was in June because someone called the cops on him 2 years ago for stealing beer. What a small world! Holy shit, that's crazy. What was yours, Marie? What'd you have here? Okay, so I used to work at Walmart. If you saw someone stealing, you just call loss prevention and let them walk. Yeah, okay, that's usually a good policy because if they get tackled and sued, it's more expensive. Yes, that one, like I said, I don't know when that transition happened. Um, but like I said, when I first started working at Zellers, it was okay to tackle someone. And then you're correct. Over the next, I want to say in a decade, between the 90s and the 2000s, that's kind of when they started to get like a little more strict with it and go, okay, you can't touch the person, you can't hurt the person. But I would say the most strict it's become is in like the last 5 years. Yeah, so okay, so yeah, you were probably in that transition when safety and like you said, like protecting company assets were starting to become a little more serious. But I'd say the last 5 years is when like companies actually started to crack down and say, okay, we're gonna fire you if you actually go after these shoplifters now. Um, okay, Brewster, I got one funny one for you too. Then, speaking of beer and all that, I don't know if this happened in the states. I don't know if this was just like a Manitoba thing, but like, I think it was definitely before COVID. We had this incredibly like fucked up little gang going on. And what they did is they basically, I think it was like 16 teenagers would just raid an LC, like a liquor commission, steal all the bottles, threaten the people with knives and shit like that so that they couldn't stop them, race out with all the alcohol. No masks, not covering their identity. They managed to rob, I think, for 6 months, like multiple LCs, okay? And like the solution that ended up happening for us, at least in Manitoba. Again, I don't know if this has happened in the States often or whatever the case was. But basically we ended up doing is we got now these glass doors, like almost barricades. So for most LCs, you have to walk through the front door. The front door can only be triggered by a button by the hostess, or what to call her, at the front desk. So she buzzes you in. You then go through these glass panels, and you make your way to like um this little counter area where the hostess, I don't know why I keep calling her hostess, but we're gonna stick with that now. But the hostess is sitting, and she takes your ID. The ID gets scanned in there, and obviously it tells you if there's any criminal records with this person, if they're banned from the LC, whatever the case is, right? And then they get it back to you, and you're either rejected or you get to come into the LC. And then again, another button is pushed, and the doors to the LC open up, and then you can walk through it. You can have your backpack on, you can have anything, right? It doesn't matter because they have all these security precautions. So now if you did steal from the LC, well, one, you're not going to get out because the doors are always locked. You need someone to push the button. Um, and plus two, if you did get to that first door, like I said, you're still stuck in that little lobby area, and they could shut all those doors down, so you'd have to break the glass to get out. Which I I'm assuming the glass is probably what do you call it, shatterproof. I don't think it's like normal glass. I don't think you'd be able to break it very easily. And there's like nothing in that lobby that you could utilize, right, to break the window. Like you'd have to be able to either punch or kick it down. So yeah. Long story short, from all of those crazy like LC heists, that's what ended up happening in our province. It was fucking nuts. Like it was so nuts. Like it was like literally like the biggest thing on the news. Like every week there was a story going on. Like you know, down in McPhillips, another LC was robbed. Oh, what do you got here, Brewster? Okay. Oh, I love it. We had a store code just for that. It was called Code Yellow, which on the code list only said for gypsies. What? When I asked for an explanation on that, they explained that any big group stealing together, talked about armed gangs. That is so funny. Like, what a way to describe them, eh? There's damn gypsies coming in here again. Oh, I know we had a whole bunch of codes. I can't remember all of them now. Because okay, I think you guys have one out there too. It killed me when I read it. I know, I would laugh so hard too. Um, I think you guys have Value Village out there too in the States, right? So when I transitioned from Zellers to Value Village, they had kind of the same code structure, So thankfully, in all the jobs I worked for, I never had to do a code black, which I don't know if it's the same for you, Marie, when you worked at Walmart, but usually code black is bomb threat. Um, I think code white was for first aid. It was either code white was either for first aid or it was like missing child. Which okay, my store manager it was bomb threat. Okay, yeah, so it's kind of similar, eh? Code blue I think was like a flood. Um, I want to say code purple was hurricanes. I mean there was a lot of codes we never had to use, right? But um Code Adam, that's what it was. Yeah. I remember that got changed. I wonder if that was a universal thing. Because I'm pretty sure it was a color program we had. And then afterwards, they changed it to Code Adam. But anyway, this one store manager I had, right? She never said Code Adam. Instead, she would get on the. Like, it was cute as hell, right? Like, it was just a cute way to do it. That she'd go on the intercom, and basically what she would say is like, hey, we got a missing mummy here today or a missing daddy. I got, probably not. Okay, now I think of probably not the best idea that she said the child's name. But she'd be like, I got little Henry at the front here, and he is missing his mummy. So can you please come up to the front service desk? Like it was just a really cute way to do it. But yeah, now when I say it out loud, maybe maybe that wasn't the best way to say like, hey, got a kid here, it's all by themselves. Yeah, the few times she did it though, I don't know, it just sounded cute the way she made it sound. She was probably, yeah, hands down, probably one of the best store managers I ever had. Just a really caring, compassionate person, but like, she also had like this really cool, like edgy rocker vibe to her. It was my Valley Village manager. So it's so cool, right? Like every once in a while, like when things are kind of calm at work and you had that chance to like talk, I was like, okay. So you said before that you were a band manager. I was like, tell me about that, and then she would just tell me about like all of her crazy band stories. And it was really, really cool. She finally got opportunity. I think the band's name was Wild Stallions. I don't know if they got any more big or, from just like from our hometown here or whatever. But yeah, she ended up being like the band manager for them. And it was just so funny, right? Like, I think she hadn't done it in like 30 years. And she was like, Matt, I fucking hate kids. I was like, why? She's like, I forgot how fucking annoying rock stars are. So like, we kind of covered for her, right? Because it was a big moment for her, right? Like she hadn't done this in a really long time. She just wanted to, she just wanted to revisit that part of her life. And I totally get it, right? Like, I mean, if I had something like that in my lifetime, I'd probably want to go back and just get that taste of it again, right? So yeah, she ended up being a band manager, I think for like about a month, and then after that, she told me, she's like, "Hey, you know what, guys? Like, I'm happy being a store manager. I didn't want this anymore." And she ended up like helping them find a different manager, right, and passing on the torch to the next person. But yeah, it was really, really cool. And even her outfit she wore and all that, like it looked so like, I was like, "Aw, that suits you." I know, right? It's so cute. Like, I mean, it's so bad, but it's so cute. Oh god. Like, I know there isn't a lot of subjects like I'm like smart with. I'm just gonna be honest, right? But like, I feel like a retail podcast would be so funny, so relatable. Um, I'm sure there are some out there, but I don't feel like there's enough out there to make it a popular genre. And I think just like that whole like, I don't know, I think that'd be a really cool podcast. Like I said, if I wasn't working the crazy amount that I am all the time, and I had like more sleep under my schedule, there's a lot of ideas like I always like want to present to you guys and do with you guys. I think it would just be like a lot of fun. Like sometimes I have conversations with one of you guys, right? I'm like, man, I would love to do this and that with this person because I think that their input would be very valuable for this particular subject, right? I think it would really kick off. That's why, like, little side tangent. I'm very excited for when Jimmy and me um, reach a level with this current project that we're working with. and actually get a chance to present it to you guys, because I think for the nerdy people in our group, they're gonna really go for it. They're gonna really like it. Um, the other one too, that I'm still waiting to do is the one with your mom, the streamer. She had a wicked idea. We all basically all it started with was I was like, Mom, I would love to do a podcast with you. I think you and me click really well, and I think you and me would definitely make a really good one, right? And then we kind of like threw spaghetti at each other, right? See what sticks. And she just like fired out this one idea, and I was like, "That's it." So did I say Maria? I'm sorry, Marie. I'm sorry. See, this happens. I get excited. I just start rambling, and then I fuck up everything. I'm so sorry. My apologies. Um, yeah, but yeah. So anyway, she's had this one idea with it, and it was just so fucking good. She's got so much going on, right? So I mean, if you don't see Mama on the Discord often, can't stress it enough. Always reach out. Just say hello to her. I'm sure she could always use some more friends that you chat with. But hopefully, when things get a little more stable, she'll be ready to start that podcast journey with me. It's not going to be anything big. It's just going to be um, like an episode maybe once a month, once every couple months. But the subject topics are always going to be horror related to kind of give you guys an idea. Um, we're going to really focus a lot on the paranormal and just to I don't know, kind of throw a little more umph to Mom is she has a very big history in paranormal, and has actually talked to quite a few big people, as far as like mediums go and stuff like that. Like when she was throwing out some of these stories at me, I was like, Mom, that's insane. I was like, how have you never done a podcast on your own already with some of this knowledge? Like, I mean, those are like some big names you're throwing out there, right? So, yeah, really excited for when she's able to do that one. Uh, okay, what's that really turned me on to a funny podcast where these two people just review should be popping up. Oh, and there we go. Okay, 46 podcasts into this. You think I would realize at this point that I can't have the Discord tab open? I need to just have the Restream tab open, but that's my fault. Sorry about that, everyone. I don't know why it does that. I'm assuming it's because of the Chromebook, but basically, when I activate Restream, I have to leave it just on the Restream Chrome tab. If I leave it on the Discord tab, eventually, like it'll work fine for a bit, but eventually, it'll just I don't know. It doesn't crash. It just doesn't load it, I guess, quick enough. Um, yeah, it's really weird how it does that. Sorry, I'm not sure what part cut out, but I was kind of just ranting about Mom, and then I went over to Brewster's comment there. But it looks like Marie answered that one. Beach too sandy, wet to sorry, beach too sandy, water to wet. Man, that's a tongue twister, eh? There are siblings who challenge each other to find the funniest reviews. That is cool. Thank you for showing that one out. Okay, I have to look that one up then. I don't know if it cut out when I was saying it, but I was basically saying I missed the ones they used to have back in the day for like Craigslist, right? Where they would, I think even like radio shows used to do that, right? Where they would look at the misconnections or whatever, and they'd read them out. Like some of them were so cringy. Oh, it was terrible. Oh, like I never, like I always wonder, are they legit? Like some of those, or do people just type them up just to be like little trolls on the internet? Because like some of them were just so cringy. It was like, oh, why would you say that? Oh, yeah, right. The Craigslist. Oh, I'm glad you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was even like radio shows that we had that would even like look at those ones. Oh, that's a good shout, Brewster. Yeah, that'd be so funny, eh? Like just looking up any kind of like love profile ones. Oh my god. I can only. Sorry, I'm just laughing because I'm. I think you both have seen it before too. The IT crowd. I just when you said their profiles, I always think back to like when Roy made his, where he's like, "Shut up, I am looking for." He was just trying to be like a real like badass guy. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, that's a good one though, Brewster. That would be really funny too. Just like pulling up profiles and reading them out. God, some of them must be terrible. I mean, every once in a while on Twitter, right? You get someone that shares like a meme version of them or whatever. It always makes me laugh. Okay, sorry, I don't want to miss any here. Oh, and then Brewster, you were saying earlier that I know. I'm so mad that that podcast or that Discord was messing up that day. Because honestly, Brewster, like the next time you're able to come on, like even if you want me just to like dedicate one of these podcasts to just you and me, I really, really would love to hear some more about your passion about horror. Whether it's just like more horror movies you wanted to talk about, or if there was like stories, like whatever it is you really wanted to share, right? Like I'm down. Like I love it when someone's really passionate about a subject and like I'm that kind of person where like I could just listen for days. Like whatever kind of stories you want to go off on, like I love it. I feed off that kind of energy. Yeah, like the more excited you get about the subject, the more pumped I'm gonna be, the more stuttering it's gonna happen for sure. So yeah, if you're ever, if you ever have some free time and there's a few stories that you feel you didn't get a chance to really properly share, definitely please let me know, and I would gladly listen to them with you and kind of talk about whatever the subject might be. um, oh, is this one of this is one of the profiles? Okay, what do you got here? 58 male American sniper with other 400 confirmed kills, seeking 18 to 20. Wow, he's really precise, eh? Firm. Oh my god. Must be unemployed and have pretty feet. Is what's that director's name again? Quentin Tarantino? Is this him? Just because of the feet comment. Oh my god. Did I get all the comments? There's some shit in the city. Okay, yeah, no, I got all you guys and stuff. Right? Did I know I always screwed up. Okay, is it Tarantino? Tarantino. I'm saying it right? You have one for Discord that you've been saving? Ooh, I'm excited. um he wrote himself in that scene where the lady dresses. Yeah, yeah, isn't that crazy? Like he just has love for feet, and like you, like until I like heard about that, I never really thought about it. Right? I mean, that scene obviously like brings it to light, and then what's the other one there? Kill Bill, right? How it really focuses on her toes, which is funny because I think I found out too that Uma Thurman, right, is the actress. I think that's her name, that she's very self-conscious of her feet of all things too, and like he's like, no baby, you're gonna show those piggies, I want to see them wiggle. Like what a guy. Him too, like me and JW kind of talked about it before, but like I love hearing him talk about movies. Like when he's on that subject, Tarantino, it's so good, it's so good. He's just so passionate, right? He has such like an anger towards anyone that doesn't like violence. You want those piggies to oink for him? Oh my god, you guys are killing me. Okay, Smart posted the memes for later. Yes, I can't wait to see. I know you find some pretty good bangers. I'm not gonna lie. I like your memes that you post. Um. Oh god damn, this is pretty good. This has been derailed so far from the NPC subject. But I'm happy. This was a good derail. um, I don't think. Oh, yeah, I kind of screwed up. I should have made a Twitter post and a YouTube post. I didn't make any of those, but just to quickly go on the subject, right? By all means, though, you guys, you keep firing out any more that you have for me. Um, okay, sorry. Would you say I also be down for the horror themed night again whenever? I actually found some pretty good found. Ooh, really? I love those ones. So I'd be down to hear about some of those. Like I said, I really want to watch the VHS series with Cheyenne. Um, I would love to see a little bit more of those with her. And I want to see that other one that you were describing. Um, I literally just edited the video. I'm having a brain
No.
fart now. Oh, sorry. Hey, JW.
Hi, how
Um,
are you? Sorry I'm late.
no, don't be sorry at all, buddy. Yeah, they look like people. Thank you, Brewster. That's the one. I really want to see that one. Just based on your description, that sounds like a really good movie. Um, no, it's all good. We were literally just kind of going off on every subject possible. I was telling about my shitty day I had at work, and then we were just kind of talking about the horrors of retail work. And
Oh, yes, a classic.
I know we were saying that'd be a really good podcast on its own.
Well, I always thought of that's what would be a good show or movie would be in like a grocery stores and or a retail store of some kind and do a sort of either The Office style comedy or just uh, a show about trying to make it work for one day or every episode, and it could be dramatic at the same time as comedic. But I always thought it was a good setting.
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious? Did you ever watch the program Super Show or Super Store? Sorry.
Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't thought it was very good.
Yeah, oh, I'm surprised. I thought that one kind of really caught the retail element of it all. Um,
Yeah, but either the writing or the actors, I'm not sure. I didn't think it was very good. Like if you had like the cast of The Office in that setting, I think it would have worked. But I think it might be the actors that or the writing that where it didn't quite do it for me. Because uh, The Office is very good. Parks and Rec is really good as well. So I'm thinking
yeah,
it's probably uh, that and not necessarily the idea of it.
yeah. Parks and Rec was really good. When I finally got around to watching that one, I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. You know what it could have been
Well, I
too?
was
Sorry, Jito.
yeah. What?
I was gonna say, you know what it could have been too is on that Superstore show. It was a lot focused right on that relationship between the two of them. So maybe that's what kind of ruined it as well, right? Like it was just a very heavy focus on those two most of the time.
Sure. Yeah. Um, I was gonna say the strange thing with Parks and Rec is that I watched the first couple of episodes at first, and I wasn't into it much. And many years later, I watched it then with my brother-in-law, and I don't know, for some reason it clicked more later on. I'm not sure why, but it gets better as it goes on, and it has a really good ending, I find, compared to The Office.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't like The Office was okay with the ending, but I did like I enjoyed like the build up between it all. Yeah, I agree. I didn't know. I wasn't too big with The Office's ending. I didn't watch what's the other version? The UK version? I haven't seen that one. I wonder if that one um was different by
Like,
a oh sorry, I was gonna say
yeah, it's different because it's way more British, but I mean, even in the style of the comedy
yeah,
and
okay.
all that, but it's just as much very good. I mean, it's originally British, so
Yeah, yeah. I was curious if there was like a big difference between the two of them or not. Like obviously I know
well, the
same
difference
setting,
is
but
well, the difference is there's one season.
oh really?
Yeah, it's just one season.
Wow. Oh, okay.
But no, it is hilarious with different characters.
Um. Yeah. I gotta finish Parks and Recreation. I haven't done that one. I loved Ron and I think it's his secretary, like
April, yeah.
yeah. I don't want to call her the goth girl, but yeah, she's so funny.
Aubrey Plaza, yeah.
Yeah, she cracks me up. She's so goddamn funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, April. Um, but yeah, so I was saying to these guys, and same with you and the chat as well, Brewster and Marie. If you had any that you wanted to shout out, we were gonna just quickly talk about NPCs, right? That we hated or that we did terrible things to. I know JW you had one you shout out there. What was it, Ashley? You mentioned.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. I No, but I hate so much. But it's not because the whole game is like an escort mission, but it's because the voice actress is annoying. Her voice is annoying, and she constantly uh, yells at you the whole game. Even when you die, like you don't have any head anymore, got your head cut off, and she still yells out your name. Like you could do something. While the screen goes, "You are dead" in red,
That's
and you just keep hearing her yell while it does that, and it's just ate into my mind. Her scream.
that wins for Resident Evil 4, right?
Yes, the original. I'm sure they've changed it for the remake. I haven't played that yet. It's on my Christmas list.
Okay, so then I should be able to experience that one because I don't have the remake. I think I have like the remaster or whatever, the one for the
Right?
PlayStation 4. So yeah, I'm excited to. Well, not excited, but I'm excited to experience what you guys have gone through in that game because I think I'm on the third mission, so I must be getting pretty close to her at this point.
Well, do you like cheesy action movies?
Yeah, I do. I do like the
Then
cheesy.
you'll like this. It's basically a super cheesy action movie. It's hilarious and scary at the same time. A bit like Evil Dead.
Yeah. Like I can't remember the guy's name that I ended up saving. I think it was in the end of the first mission. He kind of reminded me actually of like Puss in Boots, like that actor. But I think we were both tied up, and then that's when Leon gets like the injection in his neck. But yeah, the guy's just basically like,
Right.
yeah,
It's well, what's his name? It's not Leo, but is it Leo? No, it's not Leo. It's a Spaniard name.
yeah.
I don't remember.
I liked him. I thought he was pretty funny. He was an interesting character. I'd even like,
He doesn't get too much fleshed out as I remember in the original.
oh, okay.
I think he's a side character of some kind that helps you here and there.
I was gonna say, okay, just a side character. And even like again, like I know there's more different bad guys I'll come across, but I did enjoy the first one I had right now. Like he's that really, sorry, I sucked at names, but he's a really tall guy that you come across first, and Leon goes to, like give him like this huge like jump kick, and he just catches his foot and just like whips him off to the side. I was like,
Yeah,
that's badass. I love it.
there's a bunch of moments like these. Like it's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. I like like you said the cheese factor to it all.
Well,
Uh,
even the lines. There's just so many stupid lines.
yes. I love how like just
I hear they cut down some of it in the remake, but it remains to be seen.
well, it takes it all away, right? Because there's just so much like shit going on, and then every time Leon has that like that little chat or whatever on his walkie-talkie, he's just like all calm about it, and then he's like, "Well, yeah, we'll get back to work." It's like, do you not just know what he went through? Like,
Oh yeah, that sounds like serious business.
yeah,
Well, good luck.
exactly.
And then Leon answers like, "Oh, thanks, Hunnigan."
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you guys had a few here in chat. What was some of yours? Oliver freaking Stanek. I usually leave NPCs alone. Very moral. Aw, but he always annoys me so much. He gets chased and beat with a golf club. Which which game is that one from? Marie. A golf club or rolling pin every run. And then Brewster says, okay, so in Skyrim, there's a quest that involves Vermin's staff and has this priest who you have to team up with to get it. He basically becomes like your best friend. I always used him as a sacrifice in another quest in every run I did. I just really thought it was too poetic of a death to pass up. That's awesome. Um, I know Jimmy. Speaking of Elder Scrolls, he shouted out the adoring fan. Um, I didn't
A
mind it.
classic.
Yeah, like I didn't mind it. It was kind of like a cheesy little like reward you get for going through all of the arena's stages. But I know, yeah, there was so many different ways to like kill him, and it was like a big, huge like YouTube section basically that you could find all these different ways that people did it. Um, Yeah, it was just I don't know. It was a nice little I guess tip that they did on that one. For me, I was surprised that no one mentioned it up was from Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Navi. You know the one that goes like, "Hey, hey." I always thought that one was super fucking annoying.
Oh, right. I honestly, I know, like, she's a bit annoying, but I never got annoyed as much as people did around me for some reason.
Yeah, like I mean, like
What annoyed me was just that she constantly needed to give me tips, like,
yeah,
and not like lore stuff or something interesting. It's like, yes, I know, I've died many times, but I know.
I know it's so true. Like you'd be stuck on one part, and it'd be like the most useless knowledge. It's like, okay, I know I'm supposed to go there. Do you want to tell me how to get there? Like,
I mean, Ashley's still way worse.
oh, okay. Marie was talking about New Vegas. He wins the lottery, and he's the only person allowed to leave the town alive. Ooh, I think I can. I think I remember that NPC. So he just
Yeah.
runs around saying, I won the lottery." So the first time I bared him to death to steal his winning lottery ticket, and after that, I just did it because he was annoying. I get what you mean, though. I'm kind of the same way. I usually don't kill NPCs because I don't know. I feel like it's terrible. But there are some times I'll go back a save and enjoy a
I
good.
don't know. I've killed a bunch. I just don't know what was the worst. I would probably say the worst would be to body surf on it with prototype.
That's too
Like you
funny.
could you could take an NPC and just body surf with it and ram a bunch of other NPCs. So it was just you would just smear blood everywhere.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't. Wow, I love that game. Like, I didn't know about it until I think the Super Show brought it up, and I went to go try it out. I was like, "Fuck, this is a good game." Like, you're just
Oh yeah, it's very good.
yeah, you're just so overpowered, right? Like, I love it.
Yeah. Second one a bit less, but you know, first one was novel, I guess.
Yeah, I think I got the second game as well, but I never really tried it out yet. The story seemed like they were really kind of, I don't know, it seemed a little more stretched. Because I think in that one,
Oh, the second it's not very good. Yeah.
yeah, right? Okay, yeah, it was kind of like forced. Um,
Well, it's like if they wanted to make another character that will go against Alex Mercer, the main character of the first game.
yeah,
It's almost like if they were teasing, like, oh, there's going to be a big battle or whatever, which, the first game wasn't about that. So,
no,
I don't know.
I really like the first one story though. I really got into like Alex, his character. I thought they did a pretty good
Same,
job.
yeah.
Yeah, right. It was just good. Um, oh, sorry, Brewster had another one here. So, he was so much better in Starfield. His lines are great. I worship the ground you walk on. Well, I say walk, but angels float, don't they? Oh my god, that's so cheesy. That's another one. Actually, I have to finally give a shot for Starfield, and I still have to do Cyberpunk. Still gotta play that one as well. Richard.
It's a good question between the two. Which one do you think you'll do between the two first.
I feel like, okay, like I feel like with Starfield, I kind of got an idea what's going on right now, right, based on what everyone's been saying. But I am curious just to see like Cyberpunk. Like you said before, right? Like I'm not playing it when it was in the worst state possible, right? I'm kind of playing it now in a better state. So I wonder if I'll have a good experience with it, if I'll still find a lot of the same flaws that people are bringing up now. So I
Well, I mean, there are design flaws with it, so it's either you gel with it or you don't.
yeah,
Because if you see the design flaws right on from the start, I think you won't get into it, right? But I know they've added and retooled a bunch of stuff, so maybe it's not there anymore. But I don't know.
okay,
I mean, my main problem with it was the story starts off very well. You know, it's a very good start, very nice, strong start, and then it never goes back up. It just goes downhill from there. Then it becomes very dumb towards the end.
that's what I was gonna
So
say.
that
Yeah.
that was my main problem. It's not that it was riddled with problems, is that it was riddled with problems plus it started off so well to only end so poorly.
Yeah,
Plus, the more you go on, the more you find more bugs, right?
yeah. I remember you mentioned that before. That the biggest issue was the story itself, which sucks, right? Because I'm with you. Like I enjoy a good like story in my games. I could put up with a lot, but when the story sucks, then I'm like, okay, I've lost
Well,
that.
I wouldn't say it's the biggest issue. It's just extremely disappointed when you had such a good start. But anyways, you'll see when you try it.
Yeah,
And I would probably say you should probably do Cyberpunk first because it has had more patches and new features than Starfield, right?
yeah, exactly. That's I mean, yeah. I kind of want to see what that one is. I don't own it yet, but I would definitely love to play No Man's Sky just to see what that one was about.
Oh, that I highly recommend though. That's very good
Yeah, that I said that game had such a turnaround, from when it first launched. That's crazy.
for sure. Plus, if you have it, I can play with you.
Oh, nice. Okay, just so I understand, like when you're playing No Man's Sky, is it just like basically you're going from planet to planet, like it's just a survival game, or is there like an actual story behind it all?
There is a story, but it's um, sprinkled and spread across the galaxy, well, across the universe, really. So you'll
Okay.
go to one place, then a bunch of stuff will happen. Well, when I say a bunch of stuff, I mean usually you go to a place, then you get an incoming transmission of some kind by an NPC. So you have a bit of information, then it tells you, well, the next thing is in three other systems further, but you can't get to it. So you end up getting materials, crafting for a better thing, and then moving on to the next bit, right? That's what I mean by it's separated and sprinkled.
Okay.
There's there is a main quest, but the, I wouldn't say it's like, a normal game where there's a big cutscene and you can decide to follow the story or,
Okay.
stuff like that.
No, I don't mind that. I was curious because I was starting to wonder like is like a Minecraft kind of like element where you just like drop in and you just do whatever you want, or if there's actually
Well, yeah, there's that as well.
okay.
Basically, there's multiple modes you can do. You can do the main game where, there's a bit of everything. There's survival, there's a story, there's build building, crafting, and all that.
Okay.
There's the creative mode where you basically can build anything you want. You don't have any resource limit of resources, or you won't die or anything.
Ooh.
Basically, the mode you use if you just want to create for the fun of it. There's the survival mode where it's harder, much much harder. Like I wouldn't recommend it if it's your first time, even if you like hard games. Because I've done it with friends where they said, "Oh no, but I like to have a challenge, and they thought it was way too hard for the first time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get that.
And you can have a custom game as well, where you decide all the rules of how you die, what happens, what percentage of material you gather. A bunch of settings really. So uh, that's cool. There are community events as well, or community modes, where often you will start at the same time as everybody, and there'll be various milestones to achieve, and it's with special modes on certain planets and all that.
That's really
For
cool.
example,
Wow.
there was a special event when Doom the movie came out, where you were put on a planet where it was filled with giant worms flying everywhere, going into the ground and all that, and you had to find artifacts and discover a bunch of stuff, and you would win cosmetics and stuff like that.
Okay, I can see why the game gets
So
praised. I guess that's really impressive. Wow.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff. It's definitely worth it,
Yeah.
and it's the type of game where I always lose myself. I always say, "Oh, I'll just do that and that, and then I'll stop, or I'll just play an hour." And I end up playing the whole day on it, and so because there's always something, or you see on your visor, oh, there's something flashing down there, or you can find all sorts of stuff, and they've added so much since it came out, all for free. No paid DLC, nothing,
Wow.
and it's all free for everybody to use. So that I very much appreciate.
That's awesome. Wow, I didn't think it was all free, the DLC. That's crazy.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I'm definitely sold. Oh, sorry, I was gonna. Brewster just added on to a few of the things we were saying. So Brewster was saying he's gonna shout out a game. Alan Wake 2, of course, is a legit
Oh
spooky experience.
yes.
Yeah, that game's got a lot of hype. I think everyone's gonna agree with you, Brewster.
Oh yeah, it's very good. I've been playing it as well. I'm I don't know 10, 15 hours in, and it's awesome. Um,
I know you wait a
there's
while for
just
that one. Yeah.
But I might be biased as well. I like all of Remedy's games. Max Payne, Control, the first Alan Wake. Every one of them.
Well, I
So,
was gonna say, yeah, as a fan, like of that company, like, are you pretty satisfied with the product that they made for you after this long wait?
oh, for sure, yes, I am, and it's very different than the first Alan Wake. Like, it's way more serious and darker, I guess, in some way.
Ooh.
Because the first one, is a bit cheesy and
Yeah.
all that. Although the gameplay is much better than the first one. Like, they've used the Resident Evil Remake 2 gameplay,
Oh, okay.
and it works very well with with the camera. It's the same camera, same way to use. Find keys, do little puzzles and riddles and stuff. There's a bunch of stuff all over the place. There's a lot of reference to Control as well, because it's in the same universe. That is very fun. It's extremely creative. Like, there's I don't know if I should say this, but there's a level where it's basically a musical of what happened in the first game.
Oh my god, that's too funny.
So you go around and you see on these screens all the characters, but in live action, the actors portraying them, doing a musical, dancing while they sing what happened in the first game as you go around trying to find the exit and fight your way and all that.
That's too cool. I know, like on the
So,
Super Show, JV gave like a few little spoilers out too, and it sounded really interesting when he was talking about. I was like, man, this, like, I mean, obviously, like someone listened to the first time, you'd think like, well, this story sounds kind of weird, right? But like if you know the Alan Wake universe, it's like, man, that's really interesting though the approach they took with this game compared to the first one.
I would say you could play this without playing the first one. I think there's enough there that explain so that you can understand what has happened or that you're discovering and all that. I mean, for sure you would appreciate it more if you played, Alan Wake first and Control first, but I don't think it's necessary.
That's pretty cool. Brewster was just adding on to yours too. He said, "I love how they worked in the 13-year wait into the actual story of Alan Wake 2. Not to spoil it, but it was
Yeah.
a good idea." Um,
Oh yeah, no, it's so cool. Like it's just so creative. I just love what they've done, and the gameplay is so much better since they've been using this more survival horror way of doing it.
is that a comment he
And
stated was he thinks the combat has gotten way harder in Alan Wake 2, and he can't wait
for sure.
for a particular character to make his triumphant return in his time in Night Springs.
Oh yes, the combat is much harder because of the way they're doing this, and now they're more like zombies.
Oh,
And
okay.
I mean, they're still shrouded in darkness and all that, but what I mean is, it's more like I said, Resident Evil 2 Remake, where some enemies have more HP than others, but they don't tell you which one. I don't know if you know this, but in Resident Evil Remake 2, there's zombies all over the police precinct, but some have more health than others. It's just they don't really tell you which one.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that actually. Wow. Okay.
Oh, there's the same thing here, I assume, because there's some enemies that took so much way more hit than others, and so they've used this more survival horror aspect to it, so it's harder than the first one where I think it was more actiony because you could way easily kill a bunch of them, but it became repetitive
Yeah.
because there were too many enemies as you played. They didn't know how to ramp up, so they would just put more enemies, and so how they've done it, I think, is much better. It certainly exceeds my expectations in terms of the story and creativity as of now.
I don't know if
And I can't wait to see the end of this game.
I don't know if I'm not remembering it correctly, but in the first game, did he didn't use a gun, right? Like, wasn't he just using his flashlight and flares to kill them? Is that still the same in the second one, or is it now a gun that he's using?
Well, there was a gun in the first one.
Was there? Okay.
Yeah, but like you say, you use light to sort of take off the shield if you want,
Oh,
and
right,
then you can
right.
kill him.
Okay, yeah, that's what
And
it was.
so yeah, all the same things returned here, flares and all that.
Okay, so they still have that element. Okay.
Yeah, and although the visuals of it is much better and way cooler when it explodes and all that.
Okay, well, I guess the big question is, JW. So, I mean, you were very passionate about the Final Fantasy game that came out too. Between the two of them, though, like, what do you think would be more of your game of the year?
Alan Wake 2 for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Because I guess I knew you were really into the Final Fantasy game as well.
Oh yeah, it was very good. The Final Fantasy was very good, but Alan Wake 2 I really is more of I don't know. They're two very different but
Yeah.
things, but I find that the gameplay, because even though I like Final Fantasy 16, there were some flaws with it, right? Of design wise, of how the quests are given, some of the side stuff and all that were more almost MMORPG esque in this game, and that this didn't quite gel well with the single player experience of this more actiony combo based gameplay they wanted. Well, Alan Wake 2, I find everything gels well, everything fits well, as much the gameplay as the uh, narrative side of it.
They said yeah.
But again, I might be biased to Remedy games. I'm a big fan.
No, no. I mean, well, based on what Brewster's saying right now too, and you, and then like I said, just from the Super Show, it just sounds like everyone was kind of really taken back with Alan Wake 2. It wasn't what they expected, right? But in a positive, like happy way. So I mean,
Yeah,
that's cool.
and what I've heard is that they, I think they're being published by Epic Games,
Oh,
which is why it's out on PC, but only on the Epic Game Store. I think I might be wrong,
oh, okay.
but all this to say, they apparently the head of Remedy Games said that they told them that they could get whatever budget they wanted and that they could make whatever they wanted basically, and that's what they did.
That's
So
cool.
there you go.
Yeah. Wow.
and and seeing that that musical level play out, I believe them that they were able to do whatever they wanted. Because it's a very funny level. Because, like I say, it's not like it's cutscenes, in-game cutscenes. It's really live-action actors playing on the screens, and they do weird dances and stuff. It's extremely funny.
Sorry, Brewster. I know you fired out a few there, so I'll read them out. So Brewster just saying to put it in perspective, I played Nightmare on Wake 1 to get all the pages, and Wake 2 on normal feels like it's eating up as much ammo as on Nightmare. Wow. And he says the
Yeah.
wolves. I hate them.
Oh yeah. Oh. Well, that I think I've said it before. Any game with fucking dogs or wolves, they are the worst enemies in the game. I
So
hate
true.
them so much.
And
But especially in Alan Wake too, because they soak up ammo. Like they don't just die in 1-2 hits. You
oh,
need to hit them multiple times. Like and it's hard to run away from them because they're wolves,
yeah.
and it's not like you can stay in a safe place and shoot them. So it's extremely hard. I agree with him.
His last comment he made was, "It's way better than I expected. Honestly, I was worried that they would do me dirty like with Dead Space 3, just cheapen a great story, but they knocked it out of the park. Alan Wake 2 is also my game of the year, 100%."
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's good. You know, like I know there's been a lot of games that came out this year, but yeah, I do hope that one definitely walks out with that, or at least some kind of awards, because yeah.
Oh, I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 will get all the awards.
Yeah, I mean that game did get hyped up, but I don't know. There just seems to be a lot of like positive feedback from Alan Wake 2. But you're right. Maybe
Oh no,
it's
but
not.
it has to, because as much as I love it, if I look objectively speaking,
Yeah.
what Baldur's Gate 3 has done and accomplished is I would say more worthy of the awards.
Okay.
But in terms of my game of the year, I would say Alan Wake 2 for sure.
I mean that's fair. If I know if it was Jimmy's choice, it'd be Resident Evil 4. So, um, sorry, Brewster. I know you did say a few comments before that one. I'm just gonna look up here quickly. Um, Okay, sorry, I can't remember the subject we were talking about at the time, but you added a comment on there saying, "So I played it when it dropped, and I honestly had no." Okay, you're talking about Cyberpunk. So I played it when it dropped. I honestly had no major bugs, save for one quest. I'll be honest and say the first sections are great. The romance option, sorry, hit hard if you go for Judy, but the ending is kind of ass. Yeah, so exactly what JW was saying. It's like they fumble.
But it also depends which platform you played it. Like I played it on the PS4 when it came out. It was apparently the worst platform to play it on.
Yeah, yeah. I remember they were saying on the Super Show that that was the worst one. It's like they fumbled the ball so hard at the mid game for Cyberpunk. The first major quest in there is honestly a top 10, but then it just drops. I think they had something special with the story, but they didn't want to commit to it. You know, it's not the first time I heard that comment too, Brewster. A lot of people said that about Cyberpunk, that they felt like there
Yeah, I
was,
agree with him as well.
yeah, there was like something that they just didn't stick with. Because I think it was you, JW. I think you mentioned that too, that there was like mechanics or something in the game that would have been like a good feature, but they didn't continue with it.
Oh yeah, the BD dance.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's what it was.
It's like the virtual stuff. There's a moment where you can relive a memory of someone by injecting something,
Yeah, that sucks. That's a
and
really cool concept.
yeah, and it would have been cool. And they introduce it at the beginning of the game, but then it's like hardly used, and you keep finding BD dance everywhere, but you can't do anything with them.
And then Brewster would just agree with you too. He said Baldur's Gate is damn good too. I mean, for the hours I put into it, I'm not even at the damn city yet. Like I haven't seen Baldur's Gate in the game. Wow, that's crazy. How many hours have you put into it, Brewster? Um, he agrees. Yeah, I couldn't believe that they would introduce the brain dance to do nothing, pretty much nothing with it.
But yeah, and my wife finished it today in Baldur's Gate, and
Oh wow.
she put in like 130 hours or 120 hours, something like that.
Yeah, you said this was like the
And
first game she got excited over other than Skyrim, right?
yes, and that's for one playthrough. Like she's been doing other characters as well, so
Holy crap. Wow.
it's a very long game. Yes, a lot of stuff.
Like, how was her reaction though when she finished it up? Was she pretty satisfied?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
I said, she's doing other characters. She's planning to start over a billion times. So
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. I get it though, because I know that's the kind of game, right? We have so many different options you could have picked through on a playthrough. Because usually the dialogue, right? You have like different choices to make or whatever.
yes, a bunch of different choices of dialogue, depending on what race you select. There's different stuff as well, and
Oh, okay.
it's. I will say it's a bit overwhelming when you start though, because they ask you, how do you want to build your characters, and then they throw all these stuff at you. Oh, you have this skill, and all these stats. Do you want to put your points in? No, saving throws, blah blah blah. It's a bit overwhelming at first. You're not sure,
Yeah, I feel like
but
that.
once you sort of accept, or not accept maybe, but you get to know it a bit better, then it starts to be very fun.
I say, yeah, I feel like that's the kind of game where you'd probably have to play that one just by itself for a little while until you're comfortable with it.
And even if uh, turn-based combat isn't your thing, you should still give it a try. My wife hates turn-based combat, and the camera angle where you look at your characters like if they were small little pawns, right? So the a bit like Diablo, or all these games where the camera is on top.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She doesn't like any of those things, and she still loves this game. So you should probably give it a try, even though it's not your thing, the turn-based.
I mean, I don't like turn based, but yeah, no, I'm definitely curious about that game. Hopefully, I get the opportunity to play it. And then Brewster said he put in 91 hours. So yeah, you're pretty close. Um, oh, sorry, what was your other comment, Brewster? I will make the jack of all trades build work. And it might take another 91 hours, but I won't get it. Holy crap, that's a long time to play.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's masterfully written as well. Every characters are quite interesting. Well, I would say there's one boring character, but otherwise they're mostly all very well written, and the story is compelling and interesting, and there's really not a bad thing to say. I would say though there are a lot of there are issues for sure. The more you progress through the game, the more issues become apparent, especially towards the end,
Oh, okay.
like bugs and, for example, the sound cutting out for certain things. Or
Okay, so it's not like it's flawless. It does have a few issues here and there. What was that person? They have such levels to them. The companions were lovely. Oh, we're done lovely. And you've run into cutscene issues as well. Um, while we're on the subject, not to piggyback from another podcast, but it was a topic that I've discussed before, and I was just curious between JW and Brewster, what you guys think. Um, like, how happy are you with the year of 2023 as far as gaming goes? I personally think we got a lot out of it. I know there were some misses for sure, but I feel like we got a good variety of games, you know what I mean, to match different gamers' play styles. I think it's definitely a year worth remembering. Um, I wouldn't say it was the best year in gaming. Like that was kind of what the Super Show podcast was talking about, and I do agree with them. I don't think this is like the year of all years, right? But I definitely think um, that this year offered something that was different from the previous years, right? I was curious what you guys think about the gaming. Hey, pizza. Oh, did Discord cut out? Sorry, I see you guys flashing. Okay. Oh, I think you guys are clicked back in.
Yeah, I still hear you.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect. It was weird. Yeah, I couldn't hear you guys. It was just dead silence.
No,
Um, nice. How's it going?
and so yeah, I was saying for the year.
Yeah, yeah.
So for the year, I would say it's a very good year in terms, like you said, of variation. We've had a lot of different games, and for that reason, it's a very cool year. But I would say there was just as many very good games as there were extremely shitty ones that came out this year. So I would say it balances out.
Yeah, because I know
And
you are the.
so it's not a perfect year, but it's not terrible either.
That's why I liked your comment on that podcast for the Super Show, because you did bring up a lot of good games, right, that people kind of forgot about. Well, not good games, but bad games that came out this year that people kind of forgot about. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't
Well, I
all.
should know. I bought Forspoken.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But you're right. It wasn't all as beautiful as we sometimes remember it to be.
And these poor people that bought Gollum, like,
Yeah.
this is the worst of the worst.
Uh,
And I think there's the Maria that I'm sure it's not good. That I don't know if it's out this year, if it's coming, but it looks the same quality as Gollum.
and then that
Mhm.
was it that King Kong game that they were mentioning too that came out, right?
Oh yes, I totally forgot about that.
Uh,
Yeah, I think that I think that when that game came out, I mean, to be honest though, I didn't hear any like advertisement for the game. It just kind of came out, and then it was a bad game. I mean, who would have thought?
Oh no, there was advertisement for Gollum. I remember that. Even if you pre-ordered it, you could have like an elfic thing or something. I don't remember exactly, but no, there was a whole campaign behind it.
wow.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, the King Kong one. I
Oh
haven't really heard any advertisement for the game. I just know that it came out, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I
yeah,
mean,
same.
I don't really care. Like, I mean, it's cool. I mean, cool concept, but it's just like, we have already seen, like all of these movie game IPs kind of come on, then they're not good. And so it makes me wonder, like, maybe we should stop using all this money to like make video game movies or like movie video games.
Or they could just make good games and not make a rushed game because of the movie.
So true. So true.
Yeah, I mean that's what they did with the Mad Max video game. It was supposed to come out with at the same time as the Fury Road movie, but instead of wanting to release a shitty quick cash grab, they pushed it for a long time before they released it, which is why it was so long apart compared to the movie.
And I mean, even, like it was a good game though. I played it for a little bit. It definitely had a lot of charm to it. But yeah, I mean, at that point in time, like the only way you would play the game is if you have like a faint memory of the Mad Max games. I mean, the movies. If you don't, then it's just another game that came out. And honestly, that's what happened. It came out and people just kind of they forgot about it.
Well, I mean, they forgot about it because it came out at the same time as Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh, maybe. I mean,
Yeah,
I do know that. Yeah, I do know. I mean, anything that's Metal Gear, Silent Hill related, like it trumps everything.
yeah,
I think.
exactly.
Yeah, so I think like yeah. I mean, maybe if Mad Max came on its own, it might have some fanfare. I mean, like RoboCop. RoboCop came out. I'm not sure how well it's doing, but maybe if it was just its own standalone release on its own, it maybe would have had some push, some audience.
Yeah, I think RoboCop is doing very well. I've seen a lot of good stuff on it coming out. I've played the demo myself, which was pretty cool, very fun. It's in my wish list now. Uh, just going to wait to have one, a better computer, and two, that it drops in prices before I get the full game.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, so even for me, I wouldn't buy a day one because that's a big asking price, And I mean, it would be one thing if it was $70 because it was a movie game, but it's just $70 because it's just a game. So it's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll wait until it drops down, which we know it will. A
Yeah,
game like that is going to drop down in price. Actually, you know what? It came out, I guess, like what this month in October, so it'll be on sale in a couple weeks actually for like Black Friday.
yeah, and it's very fun. They've made a great job of making you, the unstoppable RoboCop that just walks around and destroys everything.
Yes, and it works out though. I mean, and plus, if you love those kind of movies, then it's pretty much like it's a good faithful like um tribute addition to the movie. I
Yeah,
think it works well.
yeah, me too. And they have the score even to help it, which is awesome.
Brewster was just throwing in a
Definitely.
fact here, saying, sorry, going back to the how this year's been. Brewster was just saying, personally, I think it's been a wild year. Microsoft posed its own everything. Arcade losing it all with Redfall, and suddenly we're in Starfield. in Starfield on your way to Baldur's Gate. And then just to tap into the Kong discussion, he was just saying it could have been a copyright issue. Like if they didn't make something with the LP, they lose it. So they probably pump something out. Happens a lot
True,
with movies. Yeah, that's a good point.
true. That's what they did with Watchmen as well.
Oh yeah,
They did the terrible TV show out of it.
yeah. That was a shame.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I mean, even though it's not like a movie IP, it's like it reminds me a little bit about EA and like FIFA and how the only way you can play a FIFA game is by buying it from EA, and we've seen the gameplay, we've seen the scores, and it's like year after year they just held on to the license, and it's like you would think that after having bad games they would just say, yeah, you know what? Let's have someone let's have someone else do it. But of course, EA had the money for it. But even then, like you would think that integrity for your own sports people would be priority.
Yeah. Well, I mean, priority is money to them.
True. Very true.
Minimal effort, great revenue. That's what they aim for.
Yeah, and in fact, I don't know if this is true or not, but I do know that EA is dropping or FIFA. I don't know. One of them are dropping each other because I think it's probably because EA couldn't afford to pay the higher fee with FIFA. So
Yeah,
it's like,
that's exactly it. Yeah.
oh, then it's like that's Well, now guess what? No one can play it now because if EA cannot afford it, I don't think anyone can afford it. Maybe 2K, but I mean 2K has Madden and the NBA game, so they already have hands full.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame that like those kind of things. And yeah, I mean, movie IPs they should be given to people who actually care about the movie because like we haven't had a good sequel to. Well, actually, we haven't had a sequel to Blade Runner, the new one, in a while. And we have other movies that are just as good that we should have something like maybe I don't know.
Oh yeah, I
I don't
love
know.
that sequel of Blade Runner. I find it's even better than the original, to be honest. Like,
Hmm.
they've done so many interesting stuff with it.
Oh yeah, and like there's a lot more that they could be doing. Like for example, Watchmen. I mean, they could make a sequel to Watchmen because they had everything ready. They had the characters, they had the story set up, and then they just kind of go to the wayside. They gave all the other actors different roles. I mean, sure we had Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass too, but
But I mean
Watchmen was.
that's the TV show of Watchmen, though. It's many years after the events of the movie slash comic,
Oh,
but it
okay.
was terrible.
Oh, well then. That's a shame. I mean, I never watched it because it's like I mean it sounded cringy to be honest, and plus just the heroes they like Hitman or was it Hit Girl and the guy in the green suit.
You mean
I
in
wasn't.
Kick-Ass?
Yeah, it didn't really fit with me. I mean like I think the only thing I remember from the movie was like from the show was I think the hero's dad dying a gruesome way. Like that was all I remember because it was like well that not also like the fight scenes, but other than that though, it was just a glorified I don't know like a romantic comedy fighting movie that had like zero substance.
Yeah, I remember a lot of people loving Kick-Ass, and I never got into it.
Very true.
I,
Yeah, I
I
remember a lot
never
of people
could. I mean,
enjoying that movie.
yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe it's because like maybe they had a soft spot for the things that surrounded it. Because like I'm sure that they're probably off the backs of all the Marvel people. It was sorry, all the Fox Marvel people, all the Watchmen watchers. People who watched um that Glass or the other one. No, not Glass. What's that movie called?
Split and Unbreakable.
Yes, there we go. Yeah. So, like I think people who like those kind of movies, they may have enjoyed Kick-Ass, but I couldn't see it. I didn't see the maybe I just didn't see the full picture, but it wasn't for me.
Although Watchmen is extremely different than Kick-Ass, though.
It is. I mean, I think I would say that, Watchmen is the evolution of what Kick-Ass wanted to be, but I don't think that the people understood what made that movie so good, and I think that's why we don't have a sequel.
I was gonna say, you know what? Kick-Ass came out the same time that Scott Pilgrim versus the World did. So there was like a few movies around that timeline that had that same kind of weird.
Although Scott Pilgrim versus the World was hilarious, an
Yeah,
awesome movie.
no, it was really good. But I mean, like it was kind of around that same timeline. So it might be why you felt that way about Kick-Ass because there was quite a few movies coming out that were that superhero, genre.
Yeah, probably so. And I mean, yeah, in that case, I could probably see why some people just didn't get with it because, yeah, like when the two biggest movies are like a fighting-ish kind of thing, and then also a romantic comedic kind of movie. I mean, like, yeah, like it's like when it's like if Suicide Squad came out and they made like a Seinfeld movie, like it would be hard to even put those two together.
Actually, shit. There was a
For
lot.
sure.
There was a lot of good ones. We had Skyfall for 2010 because it was 2010 when this came out. There was Skyfall. There was Atomic Bond. Salt came out.
Atomic Blue was so good, so underrated.
Yeah, I was just surprised. Like, wow, there's actually a lot. Inception came out that year too. Wow,
Oh my god, that was good as well.
holy shit. Yeah, there was a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
Jack Reacher came out. That was
Oh, yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow. Holy shit. Yeah, that was a good year.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
miss those years.
Yeah, I think that I think like Skyfall, like that was one of my biggest, one of my biggest movies to see. I like James Bond. I just wanted to see another movie with him in it, and of course, Edge of Tomorrow was a really good sci-fi movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow was really good.
Yeah, and
Although James Bond, Daniel Craig is done with James Bond though, so it would
yeah,
be someone new.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
too
So
bad.
we're gonna
I
see what
liked him.
happens now with
Who would
the
you
new
want to
guy.
see as James Bond Pizza?
Well, so I've been hearing about having Idris doing it, which I think I think he should because I loved his performance in the DLC for Cyberpunk, and I think that he'll be a good. I mean, because it's like either him or um Henry Cavill.
True. I
But
would
I
see.
think
I would see
what's
both
up?
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would only go with Idris because he has that he had like that aesthetic to him that just it makes him you could feel like James Bond, and I think that with Henry Cavill, like, I mean, I only know about him from Superman. So when I see him, I see about this, you know, big, buff, unbreakable kind of guy. I'm like, I mean, James Bond, he's crafty and all that, but he ain't no Superman.
Well, I mean, I've seen him in what is it, The Man from Uncle, where he plays a bit that sort of James Bond-esque role in there. But I would see Idris more in the role. There's just um, this natural charisma that comes from Idris, I find, and that I could see him switch from this charismatic man to this not very nice person in a flash, compared to, for some reason, Henry, where I would have more trouble seeing him in that way.
Oh yeah, definitely. Or we could choose someone else. Like I know that on Twitter, like when Uncharted came out, and of course Spider-Man. Like I guess the Tom Holland phase where everybody was like making him the main
Yeah,
character for every
so true.
movie.
No,
So true.
please, no, 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 Tom Holland, please, please.
Yeah, I don't even know how he. I mean, I can see why he did, but I don't know where he became the poster child for every single movie.
Yep, so true. I know when that talk
That's
about.
Just,
insane.
I said I know when that
I
talk
just,
about.
I can't stand him.
I feel you. I'm the same way. I said I know when that talk about what that Legend of Zelda TV show or movie was coming out. He was gonna be Link or whatever. I was like, "Fuck, man, really?"
Yeah. Now,
Although
to be
I
fair,
have
I can
no
see that.
problem seeing him as Link, he just doesn't
Really?
need to talk.
Oh yeah, okay, that'd be
He
great.
just needs to yell.
So true.
Yeah,
So
which I'm
true.
sure, and I'm sure they'll make him do that too. I'm sure that if they get him on there, which I'm sure they will, because like who else could play Link? Like who else could play us a skinny, short man with nice hair,
Yeah, exactly. I could see him as Link, no problem.
or Zelda?
And it would be a change to the usual character he does, so he wouldn't talk.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like like if they were to make Zelda 3, then yeah, he'll be silent the whole way.
Yeah, but I doubt they're going to make him silent.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have plenty reason to do so because like I mean, I think yeah, I know like they did the first three Zelda games, they could do that. They could easily make him a new character and just have the people around them kind of, you know, do the world building. It's possible.
Well, they could. They could make him a mute character and, play the card of diversity and or disability and all that, and say it's the first mute warrior or something like that. And
Yeah.
but for some reason, I have a feeling if they want to put Tom Holland, it's because he's going to say a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, true. I just know that, he's been a hot topic for I think like the past year or so. And it's just like I mean, I'm kind of tired out of the whole thing about him being in everything because, like I saw Uncharted, I wasn't feeling it. I don't think
Oh,
that
Uncharted was terrible.
I don't, like I think the issue was that, like well, I will spare Tom because he's still he's still getting some kind of experience. But like you have Mark. Why would you get Mark Wahlberg out of everyone? You could have got anyone else to play Sully.
So
Yeah.
true, so true.
They chose somebody who
He's supposed to be an old salesman. He's not supposed, to look like Mark Wahlberg. He's supposed to look a bit sleazy.
yeah, and I mean like they could have gotten who's that guy with the beard, the one who played Quiet Place.
Uh,
I don't know his name.
Krasinski?
There we go. Yeah, I mean, he definitely, I think he has more. I think he has a better look to him. Like he has a very like scruffy, very salesman-like look.
Oh, you
like he
mean
just.
for Uncharted? You
Oh
mean
yeah.
as Nathan or as Sully?
Oh,
Because he's young for playing Sully.
yeah. That's a good. I don't. That's a good question. I guess
And
you
he's not
could.
goofy enough for. Well, not goofy, but I mean, because
Oh,
he's Nathan looks a bit scruffy and goofy, but he has a good heart. I don't know how
yeah.
to explain it. He likes balances between not being too
Yeah,
uh,
like comical. Yeah, like he has that. Yeah, he can be serious when it's time to get serious. Like I mean, yeah, I think he has that thing to him. And I guess that guy. See, I know him as Jim from The Office. So, for me, that's who I would call him.
well,
But
he was good
yeah.
in Jack Ryan, but he wasn't very he wasn't devil may care funny or anything. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
see,
Yeah,
I haven't seen Jack Reacher yet. I mean, I wanted to, but it's just like I'm good. I just never even had the interest in it.
no,
But
Reacher
yeah.
is very good. It's even better than Jack Ryan, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
No,
and the
I have
second
seen.
season is coming out
Oh, what's
this
up?
December. Second
Oh,
season is
okay.
coming out this December, so if there's a time to watch it, it would be now.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I know it's on Prime, so I think I can. Yeah, I'll check it out one of these days. I know. Yeah, I know it's free for. Well, I mean, I guess quote unquote free for me, so I'll watch that and I'll check it out. Cause yeah, like I've seen the commercials. I've seen Jack Ryan. I'm like, yeah, okay. And of course, I think when I saw Punisher, I was like, kind of like, okay, well, you can't top, you can't top Shane.
Well, season 1 of Jack Ryan is very good. Like, it's worth watching just the first season. And season 2 wasn't very good. Then season 3 and 4 were better, but never as good as season 1. They
Oh,
were good,
okay.
but never as good as season 1. So I would say to anybody, just first season of Jack Ryan is worth it. Very good. And if you could stop there, you don't need to watch the other seasons. And every season its own case, so you don't need to. There's not a continuity afterwards with the others, so you could stop after season 1.
Okay, well, yeah, definitely. Then sounds good. Then yeah, in that case, I'll check it out. And, yeah, and plus, now if it comes, if season two, Reacher comes out before like during Christmas, I got plenty of time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's good. And I'll put on my list to do.
But yeah, to get back to the Uncharted thing, because Nathan is very a one-liner comedy type action hero, devil may care kind of attitude, and Krasinski doesn't have that, I think, which is why I wouldn't see him in that role. I don't know who would be able to do Nathan, to be honest. I would say Nathan Fillion if he would have been younger. Now he's too old for that role. Otherwise, he would have been perfect for that.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure which. Like, I guess it's the first one they're doing then. But yeah, I guess like if they were to do like maybe Uncharted 4, they could definitely hire him, and then of course you can get any old man to play Sully, and it'll work out perfectly fine.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, of course then again, I'm good. I'm good on that. I don't even care about Uncharted because I was just thinking about Last of Us and how I wasn't really feeling that second season.
That second game, you mean?
No, the TV show.
Yeah, but you said you weren't feeling that second season, or did I misheard?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that was the second season of Last of Us.
Yeah. It's one season. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I wasn't feeling that either. So, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe when they do the second game, maybe.
Well, I mean, it's good. Uh, I would still think the game is better, but it certainly is accurate to some degree. They've added stuff that makes no sense, but otherwise, it's good in general.
Yeah, what turned you off,
Yeah,
Pizza, with it?
From which one?
From The Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
Yeah, what didn't you like about it? I mean, I haven't seen it, but I'm just curious what you didn't like.
Oh, well, as far as the movie goes, I think the issue is that, I think that the
Wait,
girl, what,
movie?
I
The
don't,
movie?
The TV show, right? You
I
mean?
don't, yeah, yes, the TV show, Last was a TV
Okay.
show. But yeah, I think that, I don't think that Ellie does a good job of really portraying like that her role of like just being that misguided, kind of girl becoming, survivalist. I mean, like in the game, they do a really good, well, yeah, they do a really good job in the first game of, showing Ellie to like this, just this girl who doesn't know what's going on, like Clementine from Walking Dead. And then over time, they give her all this courage by watching Joel and watching him interact with other people.
Yep, I agree with
And I
that.
think that I don't really see that much in the show. Now,
That's
maybe
true.
I'm sure it got better, but it wasn't for me.
No, you're right. It's true. It's a bit like if it was a diluted version of the game.
Yeah, now the now maybe when they make the second Last of Us movie, that's like like the second like that Last of Us 2 in TV form, maybe they'll have it down, because then they can make Abby, they can give her that what they have learned from the first TV show.
Yeah, well, I'm really interested to see what they'll do with this when they'll do the second game because it got so much hate. I wonder how much
Yeah.
they'll change.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I like the second game. I
Oh,
think
me
that
too.
I think that the second game did a real good job of just like it made the whole game feel like it had emotion too. I mean, of course, the first game did too, but the second game really made everything feel more impactful because it's like, yeah, like the main guy is dead, which
Okay, so what?
okay. Oh yeah. So I'm not sure how much you missed, but I was just saying how like the second game, it felt impactful. Like when you saw Joel die, it was like it sucks. It's poor guy, and then of course you had Ellie, kind of like in pain, and then of course during the whole thing, she became a lot more like battle hardened, and she became like really aggressive, and I enjoyed that. I
Oh yeah,
enjoy watching her and Abby like just become like these spirits of Joel in a sense.
yeah, and honestly, I prefer the second game over the first game in every aspect. Like I always say this: the first game, always remember the end, but I barely remember the rest of the game. Even if I played it like a month ago, let's say, like I feel like the first game, the end really makes the story and it's what it makes it stand out compared to the second game where it's just such a roller coaster and all the way through wondering where is this going, why, like it keeps jumping around. It was just so interesting to follow, even though the flow wasn't always perfect. It was just such an interesting way of doing this that could only be done with the medium of gaming, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, actually, you know what though? I guess so. I don't think I could see like a TV show like being able to do all of that with within like what 30 minutes or so each episode. Yeah, I don't think maybe it it might have been maybe not impossible, but it would definitely make the flow of just everything kind of just segmented and then it'll kind of lose its charm having to wait for the next episode just to see the ending of one sequence.
yeah, and it certainly took more of its time with the second game than the first game to get to the place they wanted to get.
Yeah, I
Oh,
say.
oh, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. The suspense was. I think that the suspense was worth it. The ending.
Yeah,
Some people hated the ending. I think that I don't. I think that if anyone were like, if Abby or Ellie were to die in those games, it would be the worst rated game because then it's like you just you killed off like like you lost the point of the whole thing, and then now it's just like well,
yeah.
and it's
No,
like kind of
the
like
ending is perfect for what the story they wanted to tell.
yeah.
It's very well made. Like it ended, and all I could say was wow. Like where it ended, it's like there was finally a relief almost, and it was just
That's awesome.
Yes,
so
exactly.
impactful.
Yeah, so yeah, it definitely was a relief, but it was good though. It was like, yeah, I'm glad it happened, and I'm glad that they finally got over it, and they just like, they're hurt, they're moving on. It builds character.
Yeah,
I know. That's always just pushed me through the
and I
first.
really wonder what they're gonna do with part three.
Who knows? I mean, I would hope that they don't go back in time, because like,
Oh
you
no.
know, I think that I think that they have already worn out all the main characters. I mean, they can keep Ellie and they can just kind of build on her more, but they may have to have somebody else kind of come in and just start doing like being how Ellie was in the first game, making her the sidekick.
I don't know, but no, don't go back in the past or something. No, please, please, just something else. Anything but that.
Right.
I say I agree with you guys because the first game right now, JW, you hit the nail on the head. Like the first part of it was really good and really action packed, and I think I just finished Bill's chapter, and I'm starting to get that like, okay, this is dragging on a little bit. So I'm kind of excited to finish up that first game and just yeah, just based on what you guys are saying, I'm excited to see what part two um holds. as far as
That's
gameplay.
very mindful. I hope you didn't spoil too much.
No,
Oh
no,
yeah, I'm
no,
sorry, man.
no! Don't be. Honestly, I've seen so much about this game already. It's like everything's been spoiled. But like even going through the first one, like even like with things I know, right? I'm still like there's lots of surprise me, right? There's still lots of catches me off guard.
Oh
So
yeah, there's a lot to surprises that we certainly didn't mention. Yes.
yeah, so yeah, I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited to try number two. But JW, you had such a good one, and I think it's like the best way to end the podcast off. I liked when you said who would you like as James Bond, and it got me thinking. And I did a quick little fact check to make sure I wasn't wrong. But it looks like nobody else has played Indiana Jones. So I was curious, if they were to pass on that torch, and Pizza, by all means, you can answer it too. Who would be like another good Indiana Jones? Because I know you were pretty passionate about those movies.
Oh, I would say let it die. Disney
Yeah,
can't do anything good. Let it die.
oh, what a shame. Okay, okay.
I mean, all I know, I mean, like I think that if Harrison Ford doesn't want to do any more acting, which I don't think he even can,
Yeah.
um, I
Yeah,
would
he's
probably
pretty old.
just say yeah, 'cause, because like cause like I don't know who else, because it's like he's been ending for like almost all the decades, so it's like I don't know who else you
Yeah.
can even find to make it work.
You
Yeah, it's
know
crazy.
what they should do actually? They patch the torch and it becomes Uncharted.
I was gonna say, okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, if there wasn't an Indiana Jones, like would Uncharted be the next best one for that kind of series?
Well, I mean, if it wasn't Tom Holland, sure.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a terrible movie, and it's not because it's not because all the Indiana Jones adventure stuff for old movies dated or whatever. No, there's a way of modernizing it. It's just they've been doing shit movies.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, you're right though. It's like, I mean, like the evolution of Indiana Jones is probably going to be Uncharted, unless they decide to make Indiana Jones a girl and they call it Tomb Raider,
Hell
which they
yeah.
probably won't because,
It's
you know,
already in the making. Apparently, they're doing another Tomb Raider, but it's not with Alicia Vikander that made the previous one.
Oh wow,
oh,
really?
well then I wonder how it's going to be. Because I mean, I mean, I mean, like the Tomb Raider movie, it was good. I I like what they were trying to do with it. I don't really remember too much of it, but I mean, it was all right.
Yeah, same. It was good, but it wasn't, the action hero Lara Croft that I necessarily wanted to see. They based it off the more serious reboot of Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
So, it was
Yeah.
good for what they wanted to do, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
wish it was
definitely.
the other way around.
Oh, yeah, and I think that for these modern like movie or video game like creators, I think that for most of them, like their experience with these things is like modern day stuff. Because I think that if somebody were to make, well, like like if they were to make, I guess, a new Tomb Raider game, like they'd be watching only the reboots because, it's like I don't think that they would want to watch, they want to play like the Tomb Raider games from the 2000s where, it's just like blocky Laura Croft solving puzzles, having to, like fight her way around. Like, I don't think that they would enjoy that, even
Well,
though that's what she's known for. Like, that's what she does.
I don't think it's a question of they wouldn't like it. I think it's a question of it's a board of executives that go, we want to make a Lara Croft movie, or this person wants to make a Lara Croft movie, so it has to be based on the latest, let's say. We want the latest because we want to attract the fan base and, since it's the most recent one, the younger generations as well by doing so. If you base it off the old ones, you will have a small portion of people that will go and see it. That's probably the thought process behind it, because that's often why they say it's based off this thing, but they do it completely differently because they think, well, I'll take Halo for example. Terrible show. Terrible what they did to Halo. They say, oh, it's based off, Halo, but they choose people that never played Halo and they don't care about the video game industry or anything like that. Why? Because they always do that. Why do they do that? It's because they think, well, we don't want to only attract small gamers. We want to attract a bunch of people, even people that don't play games. We want to try to appease to every possible demographic. And so they try to bring people that don't know the IP per se to make the film so that they can make the film accessible to everyone. But what it does is it's shit. That's what it does because they don't know the IP. They don't know the base original stuff. So it's just not very good. Instead of thinking, well, the IP worked, so we should use the IP and people that are fan of the IP to make it. It will attract people. They don't think it's just good. They think, well, we need to make it accessible for everyone and try to grab the most people that we can. And this is where it falters every time.
Yep, 100%. I agree.
Like that's why both Sonic movies made way more money and are like universally loved by everybody. Because when you have people who know what Sonic is, like they don't have to worry about, oh, is it a new Sonic game? They don't care about that. They care about is this the Sonic that we have played in the past? Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Mario. Like I mean, like
Yeah.
it's I don't think that people understand that it is, it doesn't have to just be Nintendo and Sega having to carry the whole gaming movie franchise. Like they have so many good IPs out there that they could easily do it. Like, for example, they could probably make a pretty, let me see, what game have I been playing lately? Oh, like they can make a Dead Island. I mean, that's easy. It's a zombie movie, but
That's
they can do that. They can do
for
maybe Cyberpunk. I mean, they already have Blade Runner. You may as well just keep going.
yeah, or Dying Light.
Oh, for
They can
sure.
make,
But it's
yeah,
funny to think that Nintendo and Sega used to be against each other in gaming, and now they're against each other in movies. It's like full circle of some kind.
That's so true. Wow.
oh yeah, and who knows what's gonna happen? I mean, I don't know if they're ever gonna do the whole like Sonic versus Mario at the Olympics kind of thing, which that'd be pretty funny to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch it. I would love to watch a crossover like that, but I mean, who knows how that's going to work out? Because I do. I mean, I know that like Nintendo, like I think like they probably owned Sega for like a little bit, and then they kind of broke off again. But like during that time though, they had some really good games.
I got a funny one for you
They
guys.
had some really good games with crossover.
I got a funny one for you guys too, because I was just taking another little quick peek at the movie timelines, and I thought this was the case. Tomb Raider, the one we were talking about earlier with Angela Jolie, that came out the same time as the Final Fantasy movies, The Spirits Within and Final
Oh,
Fantasy.
really?
I thought so. I was like, man, I feel like that would have been a good time for video games. And sure enough, yeah, they all came out around the same year, 2001.
And man, those Tomb Raiders movie with Angelina Jolie did not age well at all.
Well, I say,
Like I've watched it recently to show my wife and be like, "Oh yeah, no, they're great action movies." And oh man, was it terrible? Like I couldn't believe my.
well, especially compared to like the Final Fantasy
Yeah.
movies, right? Like those were really good. I really enjoyed both of them. Spirit.
Yeah. No, the Final Fantasy movies are good. That and Advent Children were cool.
Yeah, that was there when Avid Children. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I may have seen like one of those Final Fantasy, like those, like was like the 3D movie, like the CGI one.
Yep.
Yeah, they're both CGI.
Oh, okay. Then I haven't seen that one yet. I heard about I heard it was good, but I just haven't even seen it. I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy fan. I just know about it because it's it's the thing that you have to know if you have done video gaming at all.
I think the worst one I've seen
It
so
depends
far
of.
was the Monster Hunter movie. I didn't like that one at all.
I did see that. It looked terrible.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. Well, so then, what would you rate it then, JW? Like out of 5 and out of 10, what would you rate it?
Of what movie?
The Monster Hunter movie.
I didn't see it. I said it looked terrible.
I got you. Yeah, then yeah, I just it looked all right, but I was like, I'm good. And so I don't even play Monster Hunter. Like, I mean, I tried playing Monster Hunter Rise, not Rise, or was it? Yeah, I think it
World.
was. Oh, there. Thank you. Well, the
Well,
second one, I was like,
because me too, I did that. I tried Monster Hunter World, and it's just it ain't for me.
yeah. It's a lot. It's just like you have all these systems to work around with, and then plus you're fighting monsters. I mean, I get it, Monster Hunter, like I get that, but it's like I the trailer sold me on it, and I just did not get into it.
100%.
Yeah,
Their
same.
trailers are so good, and then when you actually play the game, it's like
Yeah,
fuck.
Yeah, it was not me, and I'm
Yeah.
sure it's a beautiful game. It looks fun as everything, but yeah, if you don't like those kind of games, you are not gonna like it at all. It's
well,
just
one and two, you have to play with friends. Alone is not
Impossible. Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
yeah, I can see that too. Because like I tried doing a solo, and it just felt it felt empty. Even
Yeah,
though I had all
exactly.
these characters around me, it just felt like it was just soulless. So yeah, nah. I'm good. I wasn't on that. I mean, luckily I got a demo of it because, yeah, I couldn't imagine pitting down what like the 50. Because I know it's on sale at the time. I was not going to get it. The expansion looked great, but even then, I'm not going to do it.
You know, what'd be cool too. Actually, when you guys are talking about movies, I was just thinking of because you brought up earlier, JW, was Max Payne. That'd be kind of cool. It'd have to be done.
Yeah, what they
No.
did in the past with Mark Wahlberg, it was terrible. But
Did
it
they?
would be
Uh,
fun
Oh,
that they made an actual good movie.
oh shit! I didn't know they
I
had
don't
one.
think I don't. Yes, I never even heard of that movie before. But I guess if it had Mark in that one, I think that nobody saw it
Oh
because
no, there's a good reason nobody knows about it. I mean, main character is Mark Wahlberg, and I could be wrong, but I think Mila Kunis might have been in it as well as a. I
Wow.
don't remember Damsel in Distress or thing.
Yeah, it's just such a cool like story, right? Max Payne. So it'd be neat to see that as a movie.
Well, it's not just the story that's cool. It's just the whole thing of how it was made and the allusion to the mythology, and there's just it's a great introspection into this guy, into Max Payne,
Yeah.
while at the same time going after drug dealers.
yeah, like I mean, I think that they need to have somebody who can portray someone like Max, especially like if they were to make Max Payne 3 as a movie, they should get what's that guy Heisenberg? They should get him to play Max in that one. Actually, no,
And
no, yeah, have I think what's his name? It's not Hal. That's Malcolm. I don't even know his name.
it's oh, I
Oh,
know it.
There you go. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Bryan
like
Cranston.
yeah, like have him become Max Payne. I mean, either have him or have the voice actor. I mean, like you have the guy who was in Alan Wake. You have the actual face model, so maybe have him be Max Payne. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
like,
Sam Lake. That's his name, I think. It's also the CEO of Remedy, I think,
That's a
or
good.
creative director. I mean, yeah.
That's a good show.
oh yeah, there we go. Like that. See, you have the source material, you have the actual face model. Like I mean, you really can't lose with that. So maybe make him the main character. I mean, who would have thought? You get the voice actor to play his voice in the movie about him. Wow.
They are remaking Max Payne 1 and 2. Remedy Games is, I mean.
Oh wow.
I heard about that. Which I mean, I'm glad they are. Hopefully then they can remake Max Payne 3 because that was probably the game that really took all my hours.
Yeah, that's cool if they're remaking.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see when they can drop that. 'Cause I do know, I know that Alan Wake. I haven't played it. I have seen some gameplay of it. That game looks like it took them forever to make, and wait, no, I mean for good reason though. It came out amazing. So you know,
Yeah, I wonder
money,
how
time, work.
long it took.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it probably took them the day after their first Alan Wake game dropped. They were working on Alan Wake 2, most likely, because there's no way that they did that in 2 years or 3 years. That's
Well, yeah, because
like I mean,
the first Alan Wake was a 360, right? So that was a while back.
yeah. So I mean, who knows? It could be because I mean, it looks so good. It looks amazing, and I mean, I want to buy it, but it's not right now. Not not at full price.
Okay.
Actually, it's not on Game Pass. I don't know if it is or not.
I don't
It probably
know.
isn't.
No, I don't think it's on Game Pass, but I'm sure it will be at one point.
Yeah, let me see. Game Pass.
Because you can
It's
get the
wait,
first
let
Alan Wake.
me see. Oh no, it's not on Game Pass.
And I might be wrong, but I think they're planning to release Alan Wake. I mean, not Alan Wake, Max Payne 1 and 2 remake together as one game.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that would be
Yeah.
cool as well.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, they may as well because it's I mean, they're both, they're in the same, same timeline, same scenario. So I mean, it makes more sense to do it that way. Now, granted, I don't know how long it took them to make the first and second Max Payne game, but I think that if they're going to, if they're going to do it at the same graphic level as Alan Wake Control, it may be maybe half a decade because yeah, I don't think they can't pull that off in 2 or 3 years. They need a lot of time with it, and of course, again, good reason because you know they have the technology, they got the skill for it, they have the voice actors, so they got plenty to work with. But yeah, they can't rush it.
Okay, I got the final one of the night. Okay, sorry, just you guys were talking about it, and I was like, man, this is a good one too. I'm curious what you guys
Oh,
think.
my bad. I didn't mean hold
No,
up the
no, no,
podcast like that.
no, pizza. I just wanted to shout out just to give you guys a chance to think. So you guys talked about video games, right? That'd be great movies. But what video game developer do you think would make really good movies?
What video game developer
Yeah, from all the
would
companies.
make good movies?
Yeah, from all like you got Rockstar, right? You got Bethesda, you got all these people out there, right? All these IDs. Who do you think would make a really good Remedy? Like you're mentioning, you got all these different people out there, right? Like who do you think would make a good movie?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't
well,
know, because making games are quite different than making movies. So
Exactly, right?
I'm
So
not sure.
it's a different element, right? I don't know why, but
Well, I would.
Rockstar was kind of coming to my head. I feel like they would make a pretty good action movie. Could be wrong, but
Well, I would say Remedy games because half of Alan Wake 2 is in with live action and actors and stuff. So
yeah, like Remedy could do it. I mean, I could pretty much Naughty Dog, anyone from PlayStation, they already make movies. Like you play Ragnarok, it's pretty much almost all movie, little story. I mean, even Last of
true.
Us 2 is pretty much all movie, button mashing. So I mean, anyone from Sony could do it. Remedy definitely, 'cause, I mean, they got plenty of to work with. Um, yeah, Rockstar. I think that Rockstar they definitely could, but I think that for them it would be more like just. I would want them to make a John Wick game, a John Wick movie, because I don't think that they can
Oh
do anything else.
yeah, that'd be cool.
They could, they don't have. I don't think they have the the knowledge or skill to make anything like a romance or a I mean, well, comedy. Yeah, they can do a comedy.
I would love to see a
Yeah,
romance film for
they can do what?
Rockstar.
Yeah, they can make a comedy with Slink and his cousin. I don't know his name. Slink and the guy who plays Lamar.
Yeah,
No. I think Sling Johnson is Lamar. Yeah. But yeah. Lamar and Trevor. There we not Lamar and Trevor. Lamar and Franklin. There we go. That's this whole other comedy movie. Then you can do one with Trevor and Michael, make it some type of like Breaking Bad, and then there we go. You can make Better Call Saul with Michael.
That's true, right?
So I mean, they Rockstar they have so much potential to make any kind of movie they wanted to. Like they have all these big games.
Yeah.
They should make a really, they should make a game based off of GTA 4 because I think that story was probably, in my opinion, I know that I might be wrong on this one because some people they hate when I mention anything that's not GTA 5, but GTA 4 story was probably top tier. Like I think that GTA 4 was probably peak Rockstar.
Well, I know JW had a good list that he posted in the Discord, right? Just showing that difference. I can't remember, it was like a 10-year gap, JW, where you had like all these games that came out
Oh.
from Rockstar. And then it was like, what, the last like 5 or 10 years where they had just 2 games or whatever released?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
can't find it again.
I can't believe it's been
Yeah.
that long. Oh, Grand
I don't
Theft
think
Auto
that we're
5.
gonna get GTA 6 any.
Okay, yeah. So to 2003 to 2012, Rockstar, made a bunch of games like
Yeah, there was
1,
a
2,
big chunk.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It was like between 10 to 20 games. And
Wow.
2013 to 2023, which is the same time gap, they made 2 games, Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
I mean, you would think, at least for me though, I know that when GTA 5 came out, I know that it was like the biggest thing. Yeah, well, yeah, whatever. But like 10 years of the same game, like I think it that's an accomplishment. Like I think that almost every video game wants to have 10 years of support and money. Like I mean, like they're making millions off the same game for 10 years. Like I don't know how you can do that.
I
So
mean, yeah, it's an accomplishment.
good on
Work
them.
hard.
It is an accomplishment, but
That's
it's such a shame too, right? Because it's such a great company, and to not not to see any new ideas out of them, like that sucks.
Yeah, that's my main thing I find as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they want to stick to having a conveyor belt of money instead of making new stuff.
because even you had that list on there, right?
Exactly.
There was so many good games like I forgot about too. I was like, oh yeah, Rockstar made that as
And
well.
there's a bunch of articles where that comes out that says the next Grand Theft Auto they want to be more mindful of the culture and people's feelings and all that, which is weird. It
Aw.
seems completely contrary to what Rockstar has made along the years and how it was, a maverick, someone going against the grain and doing just what they wanted, really,
Yeah.
which is weird to me.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
it remains to be seen until it comes out, but
True.
I'm not liking hearing this.
Yeah, I think I think the last time I stopped caring about the whole news articles was when I saw like like some random article about how the game is coming out in 2026. I'm like, yeah, that's not happening. So I stopped following it. It's like there's no, if it was going to come out, it would be coming out probably right before 2030. Because I mean, I know for a fact that they are nowhere even near done with the production. Because if they had anything to show us, they'll be showing us something. I mean, because like Rockstar, they are definitely the kind of people who they will hold it, they will take it to the grave, and they will never show us anything until it's ready. But even then, they always have like something to give us, like just a little teaser. Like none of this hide and seek. Oh, I see the word six in the background. Like none of that. But like they give us something that's worth our time.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. There
Yeah.
would have been something released at this point.
I have an answer for, well, a sort of semi-answer for how much time it took for Alan Wake 2.
Oh,
It's not obvious the date that they started working, because there's a whole history of them wanting to make a second game after they did the first one. But at the time, what was popular was multiplayer games, and so Microsoft refused their Alan Wake 2 thing, but instead made them work on a new project, which became Quantum Break. And so for years, they've had trouble, financing a sequel to Alan Wake and to get interest in it until around 2019, 2017, something like that, where they've been working on it, but they did not, not full time on it necessarily, because they had other properties, other games that they were working on. And so, but they were still there was still a part of the company that was working on that project for years until now. So it's safe to assume that the game probably took around 6 to 5 years, I would say, from what I understand.
wow.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that seems about right. I would bank on probably 6, maybe even 7. But yeah, I heard about how, well, it came out that, Microsoft wasn't even going to give them that, the money to do Alan Wake 2, which I mean, yeah, I would hope that they would have had it, because it seemed as though, they probably had a really good foothold in the first game. Like they already had, they had everything planned out. So, I am kind of glad that it took them a while, because I don't know if it's going to be on the same engine as Alan Wake 1, and then they have to like kind of scrap everything and go back and redo it in this different engine. So I'm glad they did it now, because it was worth it. It
Yeah,
was
I'm glad
definitely.
as well. And I think Sam Lake himself, the creative director, also said he was glad because he could, mature as a writer and made something much better. He found that what was initially planned for when they first thought of a sequel.
Yeah, so I guess at the end of the day, the moral of the story is Xbox good.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would say priorities skewed, but
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So hopefully, when they decide to make the Max Payne, although I guess they could make Max Payne after Alan Wake 2, because now they have the engine, they have the experience. Like they already have they already have the voice actor kind of reprising his role as Max. So I think they have a good segue into the remake, and maybe it may not take 5 years to come out. It may take even less than that, because they got the tools, they got the people, so they definitely have a head start.
plus, I'm pretty sure Alan Wake 2 made them a good amount of revenue. I'm pretty sure.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, must have.
oh yeah. I mean, 'cause, like all the biggest YouTubers, they were out there playing that game. Like I saw reviews about it. I mean, it's got a really good score right now.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, they wanted this game, which is crazy, because I mean, like even though I played a bit of the first one, I wasn't the biggest fan, but I do know a lot of people, they really like they wanted something like this to come out, which I'm I'm glad they got it. I'm glad they got what they wanted, because there was so much hype around it. I mean, I don't know if it was like Elden Ring hype, but it was definitely up there.
I agree. Yeah, it definitely had a lot of hype. Alan Wake too. Like I said,
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I was, I think, I guess as a side little comment, I would say that at levels of hype go, I think that GTA 5 takes top, because that's the world with that one. Then I would say Elden Ring, Cyberpunk, and then Alan Wake 2. in terms of hype level.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't actually know how much copy it's sold yet. Because it's talked a lot, but is it played that much or bought that much, or because Spider-Man 2 came out, not so long ago, if it took away from that revenue?
That's true. It would be
Yeah,
interesting to see how much it actually made.
yeah. Now I mean, no, I don't. I don't have PS4 or PS5 at the moment, but I would say that Spider-Man 2 was a big thing. I want to say that that probably did kind of cut into it. Um, Actually, I'm not even sure when. I don't know which one came out first. I think Alan Wake 2 came out first, right? And then
No,
Spider-Man,
Alan
or
Wake 2 came out after Spider-Man.
Yeah, after.
oh, okay, I got you. Okay, okay.
And
So
it's hard to know because they don't have a physical, they don't sell physical copy, and so digital numbers, you're not obligated to release digital numbers compared to physical selling, I think. I might be
oh,
saying bullshit, but I think that's a thing.
Oh shit. Okay.
oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, because it's like I think that if you're a company, because I know for a fact like Xbox, like they love to tout their numbers. They always do with Game Pass. Like, oh, we got all these Game Pass users. PlayStation does it sometimes when they feel confident in themselves. So they got the number. They know what's going on. They know they can tell us exactly. Oh, we made these many sales, and even if Alan Wake 2 didn't make $1 million, the fact that it came out and it's received very well, I think that's enough to carry your words. Because sure, having a game that sells really well is one thing, but having a game that is top tier and it being out, that's a whole different thing. That's way more respectful, in my opinion. So, give us a number. And if you made $1 million plus, I'm happy for you. I'm glad you did.
Because I'm having trouble trying to find numbers on Alan Wake 2 of how much it's sold and all that. So I don't know. I don't know. Epic, release the numbers, please.
Yeah. Please let us
Oh, it's
know.
on Epic. That's okay. Well, then no, then I can't. Honestly though, then I don't know about that one because with Epic, it's already those things where like you have to even want to be on an Epic storefront, which I don't want to be on there. I don't even use Epic these days, and I bought games from there, and I don't even use it.
Yeah, it was the same thing for me. I had Epic for a while, but I would never buy stuff or anything. Like I would get free games and I wouldn't even play those free games. It was just installed on my computer. And then at some point I realized I was just not using Epic. Same thing for Game Pass actually. I tried it and then I would just never use it.
So I only have Game Pass because I have my console. If I didn't have the series over here, I wouldn't even take Game Pass. Because like I mean, it's like it's on my PC too, but it's like I don't even, like right now, like um, Steam is really where I go these days. So it's like, why would I want to deviate from there? Which, I don't even know why they would. Well, I know why they would choose Epic, but it's like, if you know that your biggest audience is on Steam, like you should give them first dibs. Like it only seems morally right, but I get it though. You gotta get paid, and Epic has a really good ratio, like paying people out, which is probably why they're losing money. They keep giving all their money to the developers, which they should, but they're not gonna last long as a storefront.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I don't think it's necessarily because of how they're managing the money. It's just Steam is just so anchored as this, uh, 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 it's just a monopoly of Steam, and people have all their libraries in Steam, and they don't offer anything different other than sometimes they have free games compared to, let's say, good old games, GOG, where, you know, their whole thing is about you get the games you buy, you own them. They're all mostly old games because it's DRM free compared to games that come out and all that. So, you know, they have GOG has a certain niche, I think, that it taps in that a lot of gamers are into, which is why I think it will last longer than Epic, where they don't have anything new. They don't have anything different. It's just we're another storefront. We want to compete, and to do so, we're going to make some PC game exclusives, and you know, exclusive for PC. I think exclusives don't work with PC gamers. They are happily okay with just waiting that it either comes out in on on the platform or on or that they just find a way to emulate it, right? So I don't think exclusive tactics will ever work with PC gamers.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what you can do that because it's like at the end of the day, you know, you're right. They will wait. I mean, like there are people who are waiting for games on Epic that are probably going to be released probably soon, like maybe this year or next year, and so they don't mind waiting until the game comes to Steam. Even though it'll be coming to Steam at a full price, they're okay with that. They
Yeah,
would much rather do a full price on Steam than pay half off on Epic, which I agree because I don't have time to, essentially, buy it on a storefront that I'm not going to use anymore. And then, somebody says, "Oh, hey, did you know you bought that game, right?" And I'm like, no, I'm good.
plus PC gamers will just wait for a sale. Like I think they're more than happy to wait for a sale compared to console gamers.
Oh, definitely.
Because Steam
Definitely.
always goes in sale, especially with the summer Steam sale, right?
Oh, yeah, and I mean, yeah, and plus, if the game does come out in the summertime, they have that. If the game comes out if the game comes out during November or December, they got plenty of sales to go to. So yeah, I think that Steam players, they're in a good spot right now because, well, I mean, I can't say a good spot, but they're in for a long haul, and I think that once Remedy sees that, oh, you know what, Steam players are more invested than Epic is, maybe they will take that Steam cut. I know it's not much. I know it's not like, 90-10, but
Well,
you know,
I'm sure that they'll, you know, port it over at some point. I'm sure it's. I didn't look into it, but I'm sure it's a time exclusive or something like that. I don't think it's a full exclusive because every console can play it. It's just if you want to play it on Steam, you on the PC, it's on the Epic Game Store currently.
right, exactly. So yeah, definitely. I think that, they will. I mean, I don't think that Alan Wake 2 is, I can't say it's too big of a game, but it is very much recognizable to the point that you would be, as a developer, you would be like shooting yourself in the foot to not put it on Steam as well, where the majority of your player base is.
Yeah, and I mean, I did the same thing with the Metro Exodus game where I didn't buy it on Epic. I just bought it on PlayStation instead, you know? Like,
Yeah, and
I
even
don't
then, like, it ain't bad. That's not even bad. 'Cause, it's like, I don't think that anybody. It's just, and I'm sure that there are people listening to the podcast who are going to think, oh, it's a launcher. It's not that big of a deal. And like, yes, I'm sure on the surface level, it's not that big of a deal.
know.
But it's the issue of
It's
when
just
you are.
easier and more accessible.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Because when I turn my computer on, the first thing that pops up is Steam. Because I mean, I enabled it so long ago that the first thing I see is Steam. On my toolbar, I see Steam, On my desktop, I see Steam. I know what it is, and plus, most of my games are over there because, surprise, surprise to the people who don't seem to understand it. Steam was here for a long time. That's a lot of games in the library.
Yeah.
And then Epic coming out here saying, here are some free games for you. No, thank you. 'Cause like most of those games, I bought them on Steam. So, no, thank you. I'm good.
Yeah, and I mean, even though there's a lot missing with the Epic Game Store, there still wasn't, there still isn't a review section of each games, or there's still, I find there's still a lot missing with that launcher to make me want to use it.
Oh yeah, there's not enough on there to make me want to even get on it. Because like I mean, Steam has all the features that I need, and plus Steam is just compatible with like everything. Like Epic doesn't seem to have any real, or maybe it does, but it's not really showing us anything like that. It's bare bones. It is super bare bones. It's just like, you know, I think that if they just made Epic, like if they made the Epic Store like a Fortnite channel thing, they'd make more money doing that than making it a storefront.
I just discovered that there's an Alan Wake skin on Fortnite as well. So I guess it's doing good.
Of course there is.
I don't know what's Fortnite, so I couldn't even tell you that.
He looks like a professor version of John Wick.
Uh,
I've posted it in the chat.
actually, no, it didn't. Yeah, I thought about that too. How like Alan Wake does look like Keanu a lot.
Oh, it's it not his face, but the whole get up he has. The black suit with the long hair.
Yeah, of course, before you said that, I was, okay, I just, I always, separated him from, I always separated the guy who does he play? He plays the guy in Jarhead. That actor, I don't even know his name, but yeah, like that's like a separate thing. But then now, you mentioned how looking like John Wick, I can definitely see Alan having that sort of that alter ego.
That's
Oh,
so
Mr. Scratch, I guess.
Oh yes,
that's
exactly.
so
So yeah, I can definitely see that. Well, then maybe I will play Fortnite. I mean, I might buy. I'm gonna buy the skin just because. That's about it. Then after that though, I'm turning the game back off because yeah, I'm good. Fortnite is not. Fortnite is. I'm too old for Fortnite. I'm too old for that.
Yeah, it's not my thing either.
I love that's your selling point though, Pizza. You finally added
Yeah.
Alan Wake. Now I'll try the game.
Yeah, yeah, because everything else. So like this, I bought the John Wick skin. 'Cause, that was a good one, and I
Yeah,
bought the
that one was nice.
Doctor. No, yeah, I got the Doctor Doom skin, and there's one more that I got, the Goku skin. And that's about it.
Yeah, the Goku one was really cool. The Dragon Ball Z element was really neat that they threw in.
Yeah, I mean, I missed the Naruto one, and I don't really watch My Hero Academia, so I didn't want the Deku one. So I just got Goku, and that was it.
Man, it's
But
been
yeah,
forever since I've watched an anime, actually.
I know, me too.
you aren't really missing much. I mean, it's all like all the newish anime. I'm not gonna say I want to be as respectful as possible.
There's shit I know. I've tried it.
Most of the anime, like I think like after a while, like they all feel and look the same old tired story. Like I get it, but like let's see something different now.
Yeah, I know. The days of Evangelion are gone, I know.
Yeah, I think that nowadays, it's all about making a hit, making that character who just has to be who wants a knockoff Luffy or a knockoff Gohan or a knockoff
Yeah, well,
anyway.
it's shonens. They're all shonens. The never-ending battle with a billion characters, and it just gets bigger and bigger every set of 100 episodes. And
Yeah, it's a lot of filler. So I'm good. Yeah, you're not missing much. I'm sure that somebody might be like, "Oh, you need to watch this movie or you need to watch a show." Like, you can watch like One Piece has enough to keep you busy.
no, it's
Oh
way too
God,
long.
yeah.
No.
You can watch that. You can watch the countless Dragon Ball Z shows, the countless Naruto shows. Like, I mean, you have enough from the original stuff, but yeah, I'm good. You're not missing much.
Yeah, no, that's my reaction as well. No, I'm good. No, but I'm telling you, it's good. Yeah, but I'm good. I know I won't like it.
Yeah, there exactly. Exactly.
I wish they would bring back Claymore, I guess. Again. I always say it, but I'm saying it again.
Oh yeah, bring back that, or like bring back like bring back. Well, I can't maybe not bring it back, but like give Cowboy Bebop some more time on the show. Like I mean, they brought it back for a little bit, but now it's just like it's kind of just we're done now.
Yeah, well, because the live action movie was terrible, so they're like, oh, nobody watched it, then we won't make a Cowboy Bebop thing. Nobody wants to watch it. No, nobody wants to watch the shit version. It's different.
Yeah, it's like the Dragon Ball Z movie all over again.
Yeah.
They didn't learn the lesson. They had not learned their lesson at all. So now the One Piece one, I don't know. People are saying it's good. Some are saying it's all right, but
I'm good.
I have been burnt too many times to give it a chance. So if it's fun, if it's nice, enjoy it. If it's not, then I told you so.
I won't watch it.
I am good.
Yeah, I'm good. That's the phrase of the podcast of tonight.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I love it. Oh man, I know. I even miss like Trigun and Inuyasha. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of good ones
Yeah,
back in
yeah.
the day.
Yeah, Kira, the original Ghost in the Shell. Because now there's too many shit Ghosts in the Shell.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that was good too. But yeah, I guess I better call it. Sorry, JW.
What?
What'd you say, JW?
Well, I was gonna say you're cutting up a bit. I didn't understand what you said.
Oh, I was gonna say I should probably call it night though because I have to eat supper. I mean,
Oh, well, yeah, would be time mindful. Yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I honestly I love talking about anime, so I was oh, this is the perfect subject right now. But I'll save that one for next time then. But yeah, thank you both for making this like a really good podcast. Honestly, there was just a lot of variety topics, and I kind of loved it. The first hour was completely different. Second hour changed pace again, and when you joined Pizza, we definitely had a whole new element that we brought in for the conversation. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Well, I'll just say one last thing before. In terms of recent anime, the first season of Psycho-Pass is really good.
Yeah. Okay.
In terms, yeah, Psycho-Pass is creative and nice. Well, the first season is.
Okay.
Second season, not so much. So, but you can do the full story with the first season. It's a completely different thing afterwards.
Okay.
So I recommend that. That's a good recent anime. Otherwise, it's all shit. It's all shit.
Yeah, because like I feel like you like I really want to like
Sure.
watch anime again. So yeah, maybe I'll look up that one then.
Yep. And if you haven't seen Claymore, watch Claymore. It's one season.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember you told me about that one before. I gotta see that one too.
That's one of my all-time favorites, so I will recommend this over Psycho Pass. But they're two very different, non-comparable anime release. Anyway, good night.
No worries, buddy. Yeah, have to look on Crunchyroll, see if that one has it. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful evening. I'll catch you all next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, bye.
And then everybody, of course. Sorry, I know we went a lot longer. We haven't gone this long in a long time, actually. Yeah, but I gotta have supper. Poor Cheyenne's waiting for me. I don't know what to say at this point. In all honesty, I mean, this was just a good conversation. It was kind of like a roller coaster ride, almost like a roller coaster. You know, we had quite a few dips up and no dips down. In all honesty, I don't know where I'm going with this. In all honesty, it seemed a lot better in my head when I was saying it, but now it's just coming out. Yeah, no dips down. There's another model for the podcast for tonight. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great evening. Like I said, I already have one episode uploaded. I'm going to redo another episode. Only got 4 minutes of editing, and then boom, it's done. I'll re-upload that one for you guys. So this week's kind of nice. You'll get 3 podcast episodes. And then I'll just start working on this one. 3 hours long, so it'll probably take a decent chunk. I probably won't do a lot of special editing and stuff like that. I'll just kind of put the GIFs and the memes and information slides when I feel it's relevant, but I won't go too nuts with it, just so I can get through it as fast as I can. Because when it gets after 2 hours for a podcast, then the editing gets really brutal. But yeah, hope you guys have a beautiful night, and Matt's gonna go eat some yum yums. Bye.